Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault. And you're charged with especially aggravated less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
This is the next search on February 28, 2020, 7:44 p.m. How, period, does the FBI find people? The people is misspelled P-E-O-O-P-L-E. Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Oh, she found out.
So I'm missing a camera. I see where it's supposed to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's this one. What's on 5? Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got cameras all over the place, but not the one that I need. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It feels like a Monday here. It feels like a Monday. I wish I had another camera angle to show you, but I don't, apparently. And I'm not sure why. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I'm the Recovery Addict. I should not have taken yesterday off, apparently. The cables aren't matching up. That's the problem. That one comes in here, then this one right here. Let's see this. We'll unplug it and plug it back in. That usually fixes it, right? Let's try to turn it off and on again. Nothing. Still nothing. Oh, wait. We're closer. Look how close we are. We've got a mini camera. That at least means that it's the connection's there. Okay, let's see if it comes back now. Try turning it on and off again. Let's see. Wait for it. It's the big reveal. Will it work? The answer is still no. Don't make me replace you with another identical camera, because I have another one just like this one. Oh my goodness! Good morning. Wonderful to be here with you today, even if I'm only partially here, because my camera's not playing nicely. Okay, we're gonna get this fixed. Let's see. Let's do a quick check-in right now. Longest weekend ever. First of all, we have to say hello to. Oh, wow. It is Monday all over again. We have to say hello to Ashley. Ashley, welcome. Good to have you here this morning. Good to have you here. Thank you. You were first in chat, as you have been many times before, but this time is special because, it's not any different than before. We were just sentencing you with the internet again. Ashley, you broke it, apparently. If I unplug the cable and plug it back in. I've now unplugged 1, 2, 3, 4 ends of the cable and plugged it back in. Still not working. Is it wrong to leave it powered on for months at a time? Judy says, smack it. That usually works. It's a GoPro. It could take the beating. I'll leave it. I'll let it rest. I'll let it rest for about 3 seconds. Okay, now we're going to turn it back on again. So now it's cooled down and everything's good. What courtroom's in your background? I think it's one out of Michigan. We borrowed. Oh, look at this, guys! Look, whoo! We've got progress. We've got progress here. Look, GoPro is not sponsoring. Whoa! We're here. We're here, guys. We made it. We made it. Happy Tuesday to you. Yes, fixing cameras is part of the duty. Ashley, whatever you did, it worked. Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that. Let's see. Blow into your hand and then fist bump it. I was going to resort to the old, what you had to do to get the Nintendo games to work back in the day, where you had to take the cartridge out and you blow in it, then you slam it in there really hard, and then it works. I'm pretty sure it's bad for the device, but it worked, and so whatever it does. Let's see. Terrorized. I sent you an email. Oh, are you? I've got a couple emails. Tara, is this? Let me see. Let's see what camera is this? 7. Is this one yours? Is this one your email? I thought this was Evie that sent this one to me. Evie, in our last case we had last week, where we dealt with the inheritance issue. We had this. This is a work in progress, so I can't show you the whole thing. But we're mapping out the family tree of the family that is fighting over the inheritance down there with Judge Wolf. And Evie says, that's mine. Yes, that's mine. So apparently terrorized. I've got another email I need to look for. Let's see. We've got some from Brianne. That's awesome. We'll announce that here in a little bit. Hopefully this will work out. New case we're going to look to follow. Hopefully that starts later this week. Is the Rust shooting case. That's the Alec Baldwin. You say Alec Baldwin, but he's not the one being charged, even though he's the one that held the firearm, pulled the trigger, and it killed someone. They're charging the armorer. Now that's an interesting case. So that was a movie set accident, I guess you could call it that way. But we're looking at getting that one later this week as well. We might have something in the meantime. All right, let's see. Terrorized said you sent something else. It's about a different estate case. Oh, goody. We love estate cases. Anyway, we've got this graphic. We're gonna get back to that one once it's fully developed. Okay, let's see. The family forest. That's the one. It's crazy. Blow off the dust. Okay. Let's see. Terrorized. I'm looking for what name it might possibly have come under. It's only got about 700 emails over the weekend, and I'm trying to read them all. I do want to give a shout out. There are a couple people who are here who have done a whole ton behind the scenes to help the channel, help me get set up with what we have, and even things as simple as getting this up and running and working working well. There's been a lot of behind the scenes work that made all this possible, and honestly some just incredibly generous donations. And these individuals have requested not to be named publicly, but I thank you. It's been amazing. It's incredible generosity that's been able to help get me to where we are right now. And I want to publicly thank you, even though you don't want to be outed. So that's the best I can do right there. But wonderful. So it's a good day. It's a good Tuesday morning for everybody except for J Hatch, which is up to, $1.64 million in interest and counting. So that's always good. All right. Let's see. Can we watch the sentencing? Oh, that's coming up today. 12 o'clock and 12:30, Ashley. It's the sentencing for Ruby and Jody. That's the Hildebrand, the case out there in Utah. They pled guilty, so there's no trial, and that was good. We did not want to watch that trial. It's terrible when kids are involved. So what we're going to have today is basically a list of charges, and the judge coming down with his ruling. And what is open to the judge is quite interesting, because there's a plea deal, right? So let's see. As far as the plea deal goes, let's see, not that one. Apparently I haven't updated my phone in a long time. So each one, they pled guilty to 4 counts, right, of aggravated child abuse, which is a second-degree felony. As far as what they could face, it's between 4 years to 60 years. Okay, so it's between 1 to 15 years per charge. The judge is going to decide whether they're going to serve them consecutively or concurrently. That's going to happen. But the Board of Parole and Pardons really has a lot of say in how things go, because they can be let out pretty early. There's also a chance, and I don't think this will happen, because both Ruby and Judy, in their plea agreements, agreed to serve jail time. There's also a chance that the judge says, no, we'll just put you in probation, and there would be no jail time. I don't think that'll happen, but if you look at the paperwork and, if you look at the math on it, there's a chance that could happen. Let's see. KX Star, happy day. Wonderful place and people. Thank you, RA, for sharing this amazing space. Thank you. I think we skipped to the birthday stuff. Let's see if anybody has a birthday. I'm not sure if they do. Oh, amazing space. Whoa. That's why the buffer sound's not working. I broke something again. Hang on. Somebody's calling me to tell me that.
Call from.
Hello. This is Scott. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, good. It's Bree.
Hey, Bree.
Really quick.
Yeah.
They are charging Alec as well.
Okay.
I just sent you the link in your Twitter DM. There's actually a 12 p.m., so it's 7:15 my time. So 12 p.m. my time. There is a virtual motion hearing for Alec Baldwin today. And it has a virtual link, so I sent it to you in Twitter so you could get to the link.
Excellent. That's going to be, is that a Zoom feed?
It says it is, yeah. It says it's a virtual hearing, and then it says click here for access to the link. Okay. So
sounds good. So we're going to be watching for that. I know they're starting jury selection for their armorer. I can't even remember her name. Hannah
Hutchison. And the trial's supposed to start the 21st. Mm-hmm. So my plan is, if they're allowing public in, I will probably pop in at least day one to get kind of an idea of what the jury looks like and stuff like that. And they said it's a 2-week trial, so I'll probably pop in a couple times between now and then. I just can't go sit for 2 weeks, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a long time to sit in any court. But it'd be awesome.
So I'll
to
just have you stream it so I don't miss anything when I'm not there. See, there you go.
That's the idea. Wonderful. Bree, thank you very much. I appreciate the link. So we'll see if we can pop in on that today. I'm not sure if we'll be able to. I'll check the fine print on the Zoom. Sometimes they let us, sometimes they don't. So
I know, and I think with it being Alec Baldwin, I think they're going to kind of probably let go of their stream issues, because I know their court TV talking about streaming Hannah Hutchison too, just because they want it publicized. I don't know, so I don't know for sure, but
the two cases are separate, right? That link. They're not being tried at the same time. Yeah.
No, and then the other guy, the other director, David, he made a plea deal so he could get out of all this, basically. So there were 3 people charged in general.
Okay.
That link I sent you has they have the high-profile case, and so it has all the documents for Hannah, all the documents for Alec, and all the documents for David. So you can get to them right there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Bree. I appreciate that. We're looking forward to that.
You're welcome. Talk to you guys later. Bye,
chat. See ya. Bye. Bree is going to be one of our court watchers there at the Rest here, and she's got some time to burn. She said, "I've got some time off to burn, and I'd like to do it in court," which just shows she's a true addict. All right, wonderful, Bree. Thank you. Let's see. As far as birthdays, I've got the sound turned up, and I missed the buffer sound. Is there anyone whose birthday was today? We've got another call coming in. This one's foreign.
Call from.
Is this Mathis?
Mathis.
It is. Look at that. Mathis, how are you doing? This is Scott.
Hello, Scott. Hello, everyone. Let me start out by saying that I've been naughty and I have not been working as much over the weekend with my because I'm moving apartment, and I really told myself I was going to pack a lot of stuff, and I will now do that today. I'm going to go into the living room, turn on the TV, turn on the stream, and then pack just stuff after stuff. So that's my confession. That's how I'm starting off the week.
What did you do instead?
Mostly just relax, and I did some shopping with family. But yeah, I have my first vacation in a long time. So I've really been struggling to get to work. Also, it took the notary forever to get the paperwork done, but apparently I'm getting my new apartment keys fairly soonish. So I'm hoping I can find the motivation now.
Well, good. If there's anything, is there some motivational music you wanted to hear, or what?
I think I have good motivational music. I just need to do like an hourly check-in in the chat and say, I packed another thing.
Hey.
And then you guys
soon you'll have a whole box ready. So,
yeah.
Wonderful. Well,
I wanted to comment on the Rust case.
Yes.
So Helena Hutchins is the director of cinematography who was shot.
Yes.
And the way it happened was Alec Baldwin was basically like they were like doing a trial of how would it look like if he shoots the gun. And so he was pointing at her. And he says he didn't pull the trigger. He was just, what's it called? He was hitting like the hammer on the gun. It's not exactly the greatest story. I think his culpability is definitely more easily proven than the armorer.
Yeah.
But of course, she is being tried first. Her legal name is Hannah Gutierrez, and she goes by Gutierrez Reed, apparently as a strategy because her father's name is Reed, and he is kind of famous, and he's also an armorer.
So it runs in the family.
And and apparently he trained her. And after we watched the self-defense trial in what's it called? Name of the country escapes me. There's too many countries with the same name. Thurston, Fulton?
Fulton County? What are you talking about?
The self-defense case that we watched last.
That was more than 24 hours ago, so I cannot remember.
Yeah, but the one with the U and the O in the name, that county, in Washington. So because I watched that and he took the stand, I was reminded of the Dean Cummings trial, which I had not previously watched.
Oh, that's a good one.
And so I watched that over the weekend because it's very short. And I skipped breaks and I watched 2 times speed. And it occurred to me that I recognized one of the defense lawyers in the Dean Cummings trial. Her name is never said, and you never see her face because she's wearing a COVID mask. But I'm sure it's Carrie Morrissey, and she's now the special prosecutor in the Rust case.
Yes, I believe you're correct. A couple people have pointed that out to me. I believe you're right. That the voice is the same. That I think there's some documents when you dig into the case that you can see the name's the same. So I think you've got that right. So. But interesting.
So that's going to be really
familiar
really
faces
interesting.
Pop up again.
Yeah. It's really interesting that we now have someone who has worked as a private criminal defense attorney and has now been appointed as a special prosecutor.
Yeah.
She seems to have the same style, but it's kind of unique to see the same lawyer in 2 positions in televised trials, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get all the connections in place to make that happen this week. Because I think the trial itself will start on Thursday or Friday. Depends.
It's supposed to have jury selection on Thursday the 22nd, and then it's presumably it will finish that day or on Friday, and then opening arguments on Friday.
Yeah, so that'll be incredible. Hopefully you get to watch that. Thank you, Mathis. I appreciate that. And you need to now put the phone down, turn the volume up,
I know.
and start packing. So
Okay,
you got some work
Thank
to do. Thank you so much. Good to talk to you again.
Have a great day, everyone.
You too.
Bye.
See you. Bye. We have to do the birthdays before I forget. Sharon has gone to all this work to collect these names, so I have to do the birthdays. Let's see. We'll talk. I guess we could talk a little bit about Johnny Depp as well, because apparently that's back in the news with Amber's attorney and all. Yeah. That's fun. But instead, we're going to sing "Happy Birthday" first. Chats are on screen now. I think they're working. Hopefully this is everybody on the list. If I'm missing anybody, I apologize. It's been a rough morning today. So join with me in singing "Happy Birthday" to these fine folks. We've got Danny Austin, Dreama Landry, Angie, Imir. All had birthdays over the weekend. John has a birthday today. Have an Easy Day has a birthday tomorrow. Good morning to JB. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Danny, Dreama Landry, Angie, Imir. Happy birthday to you. So So those are the ones that were last week. And now this next verse, we're going to sing to John and Have an Easy Day, just in case Have an Easy Day is not able to join us tomorrow. We're going to get both of them on this next one. Good singing, all of you. A little louder in the back, though. Blend your voices, please. Shoulders back, deep breath. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John, and have an easy day. Happy birthday to you. That was rough. With just two names, I still managed to not fit it in quite right. But the rest of you sang it appropriately, so thank you for covering for me. Appreciate that. To all those who are celebrating birthdays from over the weekend, today, or tomorrow, we hope you enjoy this special day. And this time we have to celebrate your great accomplishment of survival, which is no small feat. So thank you very much. Wonderful to have you with us. I realize there are a million places and a million people who probably want to celebrate with you on your special day. But no, here you are with us. Just a small group of friends. Thank you very much. Hopefully we can make your day a little bit better with the free pancakes at Denny's. Also not a sponsor. All right, thank you. We'll let's see, where are we at? I've missed a couple things I need to go back to. We'll fade that one out slowly as if we meant to do that. Angie gifted 1 membership. Thank you, Ann. I appreciate that this morning. Also, Danny Austin, happy birthday, gifted 5 memberships this morning. Thank you, both of you. Appreciate your generosity. And Danny, happy birthday. Also, 10 months, Danny comes in, can't bring cakes, so free memberships instead. No cake, apparently. For those who are in line for the cake, there's no cake today. Line up for your free memberships. That's where we'll go. All right, we have a couple things. There's a lot happening in the world of true crime today. Lots of pieces are starting to move, and I realize we've had moments where it's been very slow, and very little been going on. We're getting to a point where suddenly everything will be happening at the same time, and we're going to have too many cases to follow instead of not enough. And that's just the way that's the court cookie. That's the way it crumbles. Is sometimes it's feast, sometimes it's famine. But it's coming very quickly to be the feast segment. We're going to jump in first with Judge Wolf to see what he's doing today. We'll do a quick check-in. Looks like he's got a full court.
All right, good morning. We're going to run through the docket for the planning purposes. Just be advised that I've been requested to appear as a witness at the state legislature's House Committee on Civil Justice today that's considering a bill or possibly awarding us a 4th judge, which I think is very important. So I'm going to be going up there to testify this afternoon. Therefore, I have to stop court at 11. Whatever we don't get to today, we'll pick up tomorrow. So your cases, if it's not heard today, will be rolled over tomorrow. Also understand this is the plea day for cases that are set in the month of March for trial. There are some 43 felony cases set before me for trial on 8 separate days.
Wow.
And 30 misdemeanor cases that are set. So we will be looking at anyone who wants to dispose of their case. They need to do it today or tomorrow. Otherwise, you'll be pleading to the indictment or going to trial. All right, Mr. Flanagan, I know you have a place to be, so let's take you up first.
Thank you, Judge. Jonah Allen. And I'm starting a federal trial today, so I won't be available tomorrow, but I know there's a March 1st docket. Jonah Allen is a case I think will get resolved. We can put that on March 1st.
March 1st?
Yes, sir.
On March 1st, that is also a big problem.
Those cases are going to have to be reset. I think we've already reset them. I think that was the day you were not here, man.
He is so stinking busy. This is crazy. Bite Me, thank you very much. 13 months of support.
We'll deal with it down the road. March 1st is now the plea day and motion day for the, what we did was on the cases that involved the test to the constitutionality of the statute regarding conspiracy on these drug cases. All of those motions got set for the first. Am I right, Mr. Potter? I mean, well, I know your case is settled out, but you were the first one to file the motion. I believe that's correct.
Yes.
All right.
Johnny Bolstad has several cases, And he is in federal custody. In fact, I think he's already entered his plea, maybe awaiting sentence.
He is. Judge, he has sentencing in March, and he is in federal custody, so we probably do need to pass his cases until he's done with the federal.
Do we have any idea when that will be?
Set for sentencing, I can't remember. They told me it was mid-March that he's set for sentencing, so maybe for status on
This
the
shows that
BOP
Mr.
day.
Bolstead has a trial date of April the 15th. That's one of the extra days I gave.
Thank you, Mandy Winslow. 3 months
So
of
I
support.
was thinking maybe we
Appreciate
put him
you.
on well, he's gonna be here.
I think
I need to look and see. They sent me the date that he was supposed to be set up.
Will you have any way that you're going to know that this case is resolved by the March 12th date?
I'm not sure what the sentencing date, I don't represent him in federal court. He got appointed a lawyer up there, but I think it's mid-March. But I do know his exposure there in federal court is significant.
That means he could do a lot of time for what he's facing in federal court.
His sentencing is March 14th.
All right, if he sends it on March 14th, but we won't be able to transport him, I'm assuming, so let's set him at least on the 27th of March. That's our BOP day, and see whether or not that will give you enough time to resolve it.
Yes, sir. Because the next one is Corey Boone, and that is the case that's set for trial on March 13th, and it will be for trial.
Corey Boone, set for trial.
Yes.
All right.
The next one is Bantu Bordeaux. Is Mr. Bordeaux here? I'll be shocked if he is. I hadn't heard from him forever.
Bantu LaShawn Bordeaux.
Plea is set for trial on April
15th.
April 15th.
Mr. Flanagan, his final opportunity to plead, because this is under the old rule, will be March the 11th. Past that day, he'll go to trial or plead to the indictment.
Thank you, sir. Next one is Tyler Chambers. And that's set March 6th.
Got a million cases going up here.
I don't think that's going to be.
Your Honor, I'm going to have to file to continue that. The co-defendant trial is set after his, and my offer to the co-defendant is to testify. So there's a scheduling issue.
The offer to the co-defendant is to testify.
Scheduling issue if he's going to testify against him.
Well, that's my offer on his. So I need to get with his attorney and figure out what's going on with that one.
All right, so you have not yet filed a motion to continue, but you also have a motion to revoke the bond, correct?
On Tyler Chambers? No, that's on Charlie Chambers, on the co-defendant.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
So who are you representing right now? Tyler Chambers, correct?
That's my
Okay.
client.
All right.
Well, they're not charged, I'm sorry. Two separate indictments, but they are related. They're not charged in the same indictment. They're separate, but they.
Okay, while they're getting
together.
spun up and going through their
Everything happened
calendar
at the
here,
same
let's
time.
check in with
But together.
Judge Simpson.
It's like we already severed it. They got presented to the grand jury separately.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
I'm just asking to reset Tyler Chambers. The victim's in jail. I haven't had a chance to meet with her. I absolutely have to do that.
He in jail?
The victim's in jail.
Is your client in jail?
My client's in jail. Is the victim in jail? I'm ready to try it.
Everybody's locked up.
Just whenever she wants to say it, Judge.
All right, so they're moving that one. Let's check out what Judge Cedric Simpson's doing this morning. He looks happy.
Well, we can go off.
Well, he's done. We can go off.
Or then-
We're going to shut it down. Apparently nothing's happening there.
He also has an especially aggravated kidnapping. That's where I'm confused at. He's charged with the same things as Charlie Chambers
Well,
is.
Charlie Nickel Chambers is the one that's got the especially aggravated kidnapping. Is that your client or that defendant also in charge in that case?
Okay, I think Tyler Chambers is now set for May 21. Is that correct?
May 17th. Okay, May 17th plea, May 21st for trial.
For Tyler Chambers? Can we just put all of his stuff on May 21st?
It's a different judge, but yes, you can do that.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
We're going to give him a plea date as of May 17th.
Yes, ma'am. May 21st.
Who else, Mr. Flanagan?
Richard Greer, that's set for trial March 13th. I don't think that'll be set.
Richard
Judge,
Greer?
I filed a motion on Friday asking for the motion to revoke his bond, asking for it to be set on the next court date. Judge, I believe it's March 11th, whichever, so there'd be another notice to Mr. Flanagan. I think it's 11th for out of.
What's the defendant's name?
Richard
Richard Allen Greer Jr.
Page
All right,
23.
so page 23 of the docket. And there's a motion to revoke bond that you set on the 11th.
Yes, Judge, I believe that was the first available court date.
All right, we'll leave the motion to revoke set for March 11th. Trial date remains March 13th at the present time. So.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I don't have him set for March 13th.
That's what the docket says.
Docket shows March 13th for trial.
All of my cases had been March. All of my cases had been set originally for, I believe it's the March 19th judgment, should not be set in the judicial conference. It should be with Courtroom.
Okay, should be what now?
He's got a co-defendant, Courtney Cox. I showed.
Richard Greer here.
I showed.
You're here?
I never had that date. I show them all set on April 15th. All of my dates that were set from March the 19th were April.
I do show April 15th as Assistant District Attorney Louis Dorowski's trial dates. Those are dates I've taken away from Humphreys County to give trial dates to the criminal cases here. So we'll show, what about you, Mr. Flanagan, if that Greer case doesn't?
Now, March 12th may be a plea day, because that's the.
We do have it set for March 12th for plea. The docket shows March 13th, but I do recall that we moved those things that you had off of the 13th. It is now set for April 15th. We have a superseding indictment. You want to present that to Mr. Flanagan?
I mean, that's fine if we think we're gonna, well, we've got them on
So
March 11th.
the lawyers are all
already for
arguing
the-
dates
for
here,
the-
but there's a whole bunch of people in court that are waiting to have some business done.
Let's leave it on the motion to revoke on the 11th. And depending on how that goes, we'll see whether or not, what day we can assign him. So,
That's fine. We'll wait formal arraignment on the superseding indictment and plea of not guilty.
plea not guilty set for trial April 15th. We will determine the plea date after the hearing on March the 11th.
Heather Nicole Gamble.
You also have David Keith Grimes, it's right below the case we were just
yes,
talking
that
about
one.
on the docket.
That's, just leave that set for trial.
Set for trial on status of plea or go to trial March the 1st.
Judge, he's part of the
That's one of
conspiracy
the-
Yeah,
case.
he's part of that.
He has
All
offshoot,
right,
I
so the
think,
motion
cases,
is, the motion on testing the constitutionality of the statute set for March 1st. All right, March 1st it is. Who is next?
Sounds like a lot happened at the beginning of March here for Judge Wolf. Let's jump back up to Judge Simpson, who's just come back online.
Versus Veronica Webster.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Barroso on behalf of the people.
Everybody knows Morgan.
And on behalf of Ms. Webster, who is approaching the podium. Ms. Webster, can you please state your name for the record?
Veronica Webster. Thank you, ma'am. All right, what are we doing?
Yes, Your Honor. It is
Krista
the date and time
Johnson,
set for
welcome.
preliminary exam. At this time, we have made all necessary attempts to ensure that our victims are present. However, we are unable to proceed on count 1. At this time, we would ask that this case be remanded on counts 2 and 3.
So I'll explain it to you out here.
Defendant moves to
We moved to
as to count.
dismiss. I'm sorry, Your Honor. We moved to dismiss.
As to
Count one.
All right.
The felony, we cannot proceed on the felony because there's no one here.
Count 1 is dismissed.
Krista,
And counts
great to have you
2
here.
and 3 are
Welcome to
remanded
the
14B.
Collegiate Courthouses.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Or 14E2, I'm sorry. I'll enter the defendant's not guilty plea to both those charges, counts 2 and 3.
Misdemeanors.
Set a pretrial for
7 at 10:30 before Judge Barr.
March 7th, 2024. What time?
10:30.
Of course, 10:30 before Judge Barr.
10:30.
Bond with its conditions will continue.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Tash, 9 months. Love all the friends I have made
all
on
you
this
had?
amazing channel. Always happy to
Well, it was
spend my
always a
days with
pleasure.
y'all. Thank you, Tash. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
So when the witness doesn't show up, or when the victim doesn't show up to court to testify, the charges get dropped. This is why witness tampering is such a big deal. I'm not saying that happened in this case, but if you're able to convince a witness as a defendant to not come to court to testify against you, first of all, I believe that's against the law in every state. But it's very effective at getting the charges dropped.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, they do know they're on a hot mic. They're actually standing at the lectern in front of the microphone.
Thorns and Brown.
I mentioned briefly that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are back in the news. I don't know who regurgitated. I don't know what do you want to call this? Who dug this up? But it's back and people are talking about it, and it's crazy. And oh my goodness, the Karen Reed case is crazy as well.
Which one?
Brown.
Waiting for it.
For the yeah. Yeah. So.
Where's the range? Okay.
This one, I think, the prosecutor's going to request a person.
Okay. Person.
Yeah, but we need Ms. Brody to come back in here. And then holding on Thorns.
The bailiff's on the phone right now.
So,
Judge is at a loss for words. Apparently,
Person.
Amber, 12.
No, I'll wait.
The judge is being patient.
Oh, fine job you're doing.
Just settle down. She's working, okay?
I will tell you, I never found her. I don't know where.
Oh, no, she's been in and out. She handled her whole case. I don't know where you went. We did file a missing persons report. All right.
Amber,
Who you calling?
I'm not gonna.
Or this one? Okay.
Tree Trial got a new judge. Melanie, the Treehouse murder trial, did they have a new date? Or are they still going to go beginning of March like everything else? So this is funny because Judge Simpson is sitting here with an empty courtroom. and lawyers who are just walking around.
Court calls case, people of the state of Michigan versus
Judge Wolf
Matthew
is just
Personette.
slammed busy.
Kenneth Overwater, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Personette, who stands to my right. Mr. Personette, would you state your name for the record, please?
Matthew Personette.
What are we doing?
This is the date and time set for preliminary exam. I had written the victim, but received an email yesterday that she is moving facilities either yesterday evening or this morning. So she was unable to be written. So I am ready to proceed today. I can start with the trooper who is here, but I am going to request that the exam be adjourned so that I can get a new writ for the victim who is, I believe, going to be in Midland jail.
Response.
I mean, Judge, those circumstances are unfortunate, but I do think they are good cause to adjourn the matter. I don't personally prefer to bifurcate the hearing today. So I would ask.
In good cause, preliminary examination is adjourned March 12th.
He didn't even let him finish. Judge is like, yep. I know where you're going with that. We're
2024, 9 a.m. before me. Bond continued.
Judge, may I briefly address bond?
You may.
Your Honor, this adjournment obviously holds my client in custody. It's not in any way related to any malfeasance by him. Prior to being arrested on this discharge alleges a long period of much older conduct. It is not recent. He is currently on parole for unrelated issues. He does not have a parole hold. There are no parole violations. After his release from custody, he did inpatient treatment. He's done outpatient treatment. He does have a place to reside in Midland. The complaining witness does not stay there. He resides there with his significant other. So there should be no issue with regard to contact. My client does have employment as a regional truck driver, but he does stay in the state of Michigan. So there'll be no issue of him having to leave the state while on bond. I would ask the court to consider reducing his bond or releasing him on a personal recognizance so that he can get back to work.
He's here on 4 life offenses. Motion for bond reductions denied. I don't need a response.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It was worth the effort. Good try. When he says 4 life offenses, basically the offense, whatever he's being charged with, four of them carry a maximum penalty of life in prison without parole, or with parole. But life in prison is the sentence. I have missed Kathy's video this morning.
Case versus Marnix Brown.
Kenneth Overwater, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Brown.
This is date and time set for preliminary exam that people are not in a position to proceed.
Defense moves to dismiss.
People being unable to proceed, this case is dismissed on defendant's motion. Thank you.
So go back to jail, get your street clothes and get out, I guess. Case dismissed. He's been held in jail. Wonder if there's something else that's holding him.
Really just be the officer.
Let me see what Naza has. Second, really, what do you have?
Yes, Your Honor. I have, Your Honor, I have in front of this court Robert Lewis, as well as.
Oh, I have the list of what you're on. Are you ready? Right, if you wanted to go down the list, that's fine.
Tell me which ones I have.
Why not? While I'm at it. Give me 1 second, Your Honor.
She was going to give me a list and she's not ready.
Judge is in a good mood, but you can tell he's anxious. He wants to get some work done.
Don't make me stop this car.
I mean, I'm not sure.
Did you see that? I don't know what that
We're
was.
doing the best we can.
Okay, all right, fine. I'm just saying. Just saying. I didn't know what that was.
We have our own thing going.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Exactly.
I didn't know what the hand signals. I didn't understand all that. Just didn't. Since the hands weren't meeting, I think they haven't resolved it.
Yeah, but that's not it. I don't care.
Your Honor, we're ready on the hall.
Are you?
Yeah.
Seriously? Wow. It took all of that. I got the wrong glasses on.
Everybody's whispering and talking. Hopefully, the sound will clear up a little bit here once they start getting busy.
So bad I can't tell. Okay. I know, right?
He's got the wrong glasses.
Court calls. Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Court calls the case, People versus Susan Hall.
Zachary Ward on behalf of the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Tanazi Carey-Akinruli on behalf of Ms. Susan Hall. Ms. Hall, could you state your name for the record? Susan Hall.
Thank you.
Your Honor, today is a date and time set for a preliminary exam in this matter. I've had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Hall.
You're looking for a waiver.
I am looking for a waiver form, Judge.
Can we get her one because she's didn't prepare?
And two, see?
Throwing her under the bus in front of her
I have had an
clients.
opportunity to speak with Ms. Hall. She understands her right to hold this preliminary examination, but she is asking to waive that and have this matter set before the circuit court.
Is that a correct statement, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
Is that a correct statement?
Yes.
All right, and you understand that your preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the defense offense was committed, you committed it.
Yeah.
You understand you'll not have that hearing, you'll proceed to circuit court.
Yeah.
People also waive their right. Preliminary examination having been waived, defendant is bound over to circuit court on count 1 with 2 and 3 following.
Your Honor, we do acknowledge receipt of the information. We waive formal reading of it, and we stand mute, asking the court to enter a not guilty plea on her behalf and set this matter for a pretrial.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be set for
March 5th at 1:30 before Judge Punky.
March 5th, 2024, 1:30.
Judge, we'd also like to address bond, please.
I'm sure you would. Go ahead.
Everybody does.
And regarding bond, Your Honor, we had an opportunity to speak with the prosecution. We're asking that the court enter an ability to be released to treatment.
Inpatient.
Inpatient or whatever the CMH determines. I know that there's an assessment or however the court wishes to proceed with that. But yes, we are looking to get Ms. Hall into treatment, and she understands that that's possible, that it'll be inpatient treatment.
Any objection from the people who are
No, Your Honor, though, given the prior abscond in this case, I would request GPS and scram monitoring.
It's okay.
Angela, which one is it on the 13th with Judge Simpson? It's going to be a busy time, but we might be able to squeeze something in.
Her bond will continue. However, it will indicate that the defendant may be released to inpatient treatment on a GPS tether.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay. Do I have this one now?
I've got actually got that spicy one, the John Torres trial. That one's going to be spicy. Cedric Simpson, John Torres. I've got that on my list, actually, Angela. Let's see. February 20th today. We've also got Bridget Williams with the cop car theft on the February 22nd, so in 2 days. I don't know what time that's going to be. Let's move this one up.
All that time, that's the only thing I can really did. She's now involved in a deep conversation. What about Lewis?
We're about to have Lewis all figured out in a second, Your Honor.
In my notes, I just have spicy. I don't remember what John Torres was about. I have the worst memory in the world, though.
Just a second.
Good luck, Thunder Road Queen.
Are we ready to start, Lawrence? 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to take a brief break. Come back and we'll start Thorns. Everybody's ready.
Well, he takes a break.
We're going to take about a 5-minute break before it stands in recess.
All right. Well, he takes a break. Let me tell you a little bit. The Treehouse trial. It looks like we've got a hearing, a status conference on the 11th of March. So let me go ahead and insert that in my calendar here. This is the retrial. Franklin Tucker. And it does have a new judge. Let's see, that one's down in Florida, the Keys, right? Key West, I think. And the new judge is named James Morgan. The previous judge disqualified himself. After the mistrial. Okay. There we go. All right, so that we have on the 11th with Franklin Tucker. Thank you for that, by the way, Amber. The judge, who's the judge on the Treehouse trial? It's going to be Judge James Morgan is the new judge. Now, Stephanie Boyd just went live. Let's see if she has anything really cool happening.
Yeah, there's something to do there. I don't think it's that.
You guys remember that fun body cam video of the cousins that were, drunk outside the truck that was running in the Walmart parking lot or something like that? We had some help. I'm trying to remember the name of who did this, who tried to file a
All right,
records
everyone,
request.
I'm going to call the
Denied,
docket.
that they would not give us the video.
When I call the docket, please stand, let me know you are here. Otherwise, I'm going to assume you're not here and a warrant may be issued for your arrest. Today is Tuesday. Monday was a holiday. So this Tuesday is now a Monday and a Tuesday. So everyone, please be patient. In custody, we have Yar Yar. All right, thank you. Jasmine Hardaway. Jasmine Hardaway. In custody, Angel Gonzalez, Gregory Oliver. And Deputy Laura, Angel Gonzalez is dressed for trial, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Fidel Ayala. Thank you. Jordan Robbins. Raymond Alejandro. Good morning. Philip Diller. Jesse Garcia, custody. Devin Heflin. Thank you. Devin Heflin, custody. Daniel Hernandez. Daniel Hernandez. Deputy Laura, he's not here, and I didn't even pronounce the H. And I think I put the accent in the right parts. Matthew Castillo. Matthew Castillo. Alexandra Alvarez. Thank you. In custody, Andrew Orozco. Greg Wright, custody. Caleb Crum. Thank you. Renee Gordia.
Please stand.
In custody is Carlos Terrazas. Joshua Caldwell. Joshua Caldwell. Adrian Delaterio, custody. Kent Wells. Jack Lucian Bernal.
Good morning, Welsh lady.
Arturo Villanueva. Juan Garcia. All right, thank you.
Lots of people walking in. Hope they didn't miss their
Esperanza
call
Bosquez. Esperanza Bosquez. In custody is Jacob Moya. Rochelle Walker. Rochelle Walker. All right, we'll check. Marcelo Flores. Marcelo Flores. Darius Harris. Ernest Gonzalez. Ernest Gonzalez.
Present for him, Judge.
All right. In custody is Jamal Price. Jonathan Orozco.
Present for him, Judge, says his lawyer. Where is he? He needs to be here too.
Anthony Alves, custody. Gabriella Rubenchuk.
Bug Duggar, thank you
Larry
for gifted membership.
Evans. Karen Garnica.
Where are you at? Stand up.
Leon Small. Nicholas Courtney, custody. Jorge Sandoval, custody. Michael Alvarez. Thank you. I didn't know what to do with that Y. Joshua Patillo, custody. All right. Is there anyone who came in late or your name was not called? All right. Sir, what's your name? Do you know your case number or SID number? It should have an NM on the top of your page. (1827). All right. Do you know who your attorney is? All right. Is that your mom with you? All right, Mom. Do you know who his attorney is?
This is the county. The county grants open permission on this. So
all right. Have you had any contact with him?
But it is by permission.
All right. Just remain seated. We're going to make sure you get your attorney contact with him. All right. Anyone else?
Judge, on my client Gonzalez.
No. What's your name, sir? Jacob who?
Yeah.
Leo. Do you know your case number or SID number? Is that your case number? Do you know who your attorney is? I'm sorry, what? All right, just have a seat. Anyone else who's came in late or your name was not called over here? Over here. All right, everyone, these are the rules of the court. And because today is a Monday and a Tuesday, please listen to these rules carefully and please follow them as though your life depended on them, because it does depend on it to make this day an easy day for everyone. So, attorneys, the files for criminal trial division are there. The files for family violence are there. Just grab your file, place your file on the prosecutor's desk, have a seat. They're going to call you in the order of appearance. There's an uptick in COVID, an uptick in flu, an uptick in pneumonia. Knock on wood, I have not had either, and I'm not trying to have either. Even though COVID keeps knocking on the door, I always say, who would you like to speak to? And they say Stephanie Boyd, and you know what I say? She's not here. So let's be kind to everybody and not breathe on each other. If you have a client who's in custody, yes, they need to be called out. Once they're called out, please do not leave the courtroom, because there are only so many people who can be in the box for security reasons. That door, all of the defendants come out of that door. Attorneys, you know that. Please do not block that door. Please do not block the deputy's line of sight. If you block the deputy's line of sight and something goes down and you get ran over, I will happily, but with sadness in my heart, write an affidavit on behalf of the deputy that I instructed you not to block their line of sight. On this side is probation. Probation, could you raise your hand? Do not crowd around her desk. Do not have a seat on the first row if you're in court today. Do not block her. Do not put your items on her desk. Do not sit on her desk. To my left, court reporter. That equipment you see is very expensive. It costs over $10,000. Do not put your paperwork on her desk. Do not lean on her desk. If you damage her equipment, you will have bought it, and you will not leave here till you pay for it. If you have a client who wishes to speak in a language other than English, an interpreter needs to be called, whether you speak their language or not. If you wish to approach the court, you must have conferred with your client and conferred with the state. Once you have done all of those things, approach the clerk. The clerk will pull your file, have a seat. I will call you in the order of appearance. The only exception to that rule is if there's an interpreter who has come down, because there are a limited number of interpreters. Today, we have an intern with us. Please be kind to let him know this is a great profession to be in, because guess what? At some point, we're all going to retire or may need to retire. So he's going to move around the courtroom asking you all questions. Please answer his questions and let him know how great this profession is. All right, we're going to have a jury today. The jurors are going to be up here by 11 o'clock. So move with a purpose. And today is Monday and Tuesday. Please confer with a smile on your face and kindness in your heart. Everyone, please confer.
May I approach Judge?
Yes.
On my client, Ernest Gonzalez, he also has a case in County Court 1. He might be down there.
Okay.
Let me go check on it.
All right, thank you. Jasmine Hardaway. Daniel Hernandez. Just 1 second. Matthew Castillo.
These are the bench warrants.
Joshua Caldwell. Esperanza Bosquez. Marcelo Flores. Ernest Gonzalez. Gabriela Rubencheck. Leon Small.
I can't remember.
All right, thank you.
I was getting ready to tell you.
Michael Oberitis. All right, who's with you?
My girlfriend.
All right, you're not on the docket today, so you need to be on another row.
Girlfriend has to move.
Sure.
She left. She's leaving the whole
And
court.
Jay, is your client in custody?
Yeah, they said, what?
They're still involved. Judges still transporting inmates.
Okay. All right. I'll take your matter up though, because I know, well, we really need him here.
I want to verify 100%.
Okay. All right. And then we'll take that matter up. Thank you.
How long do you think it'll be before they're here?
Still transporting.
County Court 5 real quick?
Yes.
Still transporting inmates. So
All right.
it's going to be a bit. Let's see if first case is a good one or a bad one. Could set the tone for the whole day.
Yeah, it's Rochelle Leanne Walker. Yes, just as soon as she pulls the file for me. All right, if you're coming in and you're late for court and you're on the docket, you need to get on the first row. What is your name?
Andrew King.
Why are you late?
Page 9, Your Honor.
Thank you. And what's your name?
Vicente Navarrete.
All right, do you have a case number or SID number?
You have your jail card?
No.
All right, just have a seat on the front row and we'll get with you. Rochelle Walker. All right, counsel, if you want to come back a little bit later and see if she's here, otherwise we'll take it up on the docket now.
I called her in the hallway. She didn't answer. She doesn't answer my letters. I've had no contact with her.
Okay, we'll take it up. Adriana, can you look to see if this person's on a PR bond or not? It's 2024 CR 0386. It's a PR bond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, could I have a prosecutor, please?
Walker, Rochelle Leanne Walker.
Court is calling 2024 CR 0386, State of Texas versus Rochelle Leanne Walker. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
On Ochoa Nelson.
Defense?
Kenny Callahan not ready.
All right.
Defense
So
not
this
ready.
hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 9:12 a.m. The defendant has not appeared in the courtroom. In just one moment. Deputy, did you make an announcement for Rochelle Leanne Walker?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. Did no one answer under that name?
All right, defense, have you had contact with your client?
Have written to her but not received response, Your Honor.
All right, and the court notes from the clerk that she's on a PR bond. State?
Your Honor, at this time, we ask that you would issue a warrant for the defendant.
All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant. I'll remand your client without bond. If your client makes an appearance, the court will reconsider.
Have excuse.
Yes, thank you.
Maybe excuse to try to find my client, Your Honor. Oh, bench warrant. Bad start. Bad sign for everyone else. This is like the groundhog not seeing his shadow. Does that mean winter or seeing his shadow? I forget which one it is. But it means 6 more weeks of winter. But in this case, when the judge starts the day off with a bench warrant, it means everybody else is going to get a little bit of heat.
To speak with you.
Just get their information and I'll do that right now.
Vincent Alvarete, come forward, please.
Why were you late?
All right, the clerk will speak with you. So sometimes people come in and they haven't had contact with their client, but we don't do pre-indicted cases here because it throws off the system. So unless they have an attorney who wants to still have a hearing on the case, we don't have it on pre-indicted cases. So they will check to see if it's pre-indicted. I like to check to see if they've had contact with their attorney, because if they have not, I want to try to get the attorney here so they can have contact with them. Yeah.
That's the intern she's talking to.
No, it's on the will. The only time I sort of choose an attorney for them, if it's something where I'll call the MAC and say, these are the attorneys in court. Is there an attorney here that you can have to take care of this matter? Because sometimes it's something urgent for the defendant, and I don't like for them to leave the court without an attorney. You're welcome.
Oh, and so I requested it.
It's not part of that group.
So, we request of that, I don't know.
No.
The accuracy assessment. It's like.
And then today we're having a jury trial. So some cases may plea out because this is, yes.
Judge, I spoke to him. He's on his way.
All right, thank you. So what ends up happening is some cases may work out, but I give everybody a plea deadline date. So depending on what their plea is, I may accept it if it's good cause to accept it, or I may end up rejecting it, because sometimes you have cases where people want to enter a plea, but they just decide, you know what, nothing's happening today, I'm not going to do that. And then they wait till the last minute to do it. And it's the same offer that's been on the table forever. So I'm sorry, just one moment.
You know, it's the one.
Judge's mom
Hello?
calling.
Hi, yeah.
I don't know who this something. Okay, let me look. Hold on, slides.
So the one up there, like by the, under the bridge, by the bridge.
All right, thank you.
Let's be different or. Okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye. No, they can renegotiate, but then that really means that it's going to trial. Yeah. Jacob Liao, if you'll come forward, please. All right, and if you'll stand here. And he's saying that he doesn't have an attorney. And then I get this folder every day. And oh yeah, sure. So it's documents for me to sign, decisions for me to make. And sometimes it is motions to revoke are in there. Sometimes it's violation report, and the violation reports are people who are on bond, and maybe they're not reporting to the pretrial services officer or something of that nature. Yes.
We're here at Angel Gonzalez.
Okay.
We're just gonna let you know we're gonna step out really quickly to other courtrooms unless you need us to be here to confer about anything.
Sure.
Or do we have time to run?
Oh,
to
sure.
straighten your
Yes,
tie,
the jury's going to be up here at 11.
Okay. Then
All right, thank you.
I'll be here at 11.
Oh, usually it's thicker. So I'm sure throughout the day, I'm going to get more things in this folder to sign. I'm sorry, what? No, because you know what? Everything is new. And each case brings something different. That's why I always loved criminal law, because there's always something different every day. On the civil side, you may have a case. For example, if you represent a child, you represent that child until that child becomes of age. So, for example, if you start representing a child and they were 6 months old, you follow them through until they become of age. So, yes, so the file gets pretty thick. And then on the civil side, there is a lot of filings that go on. So it happens.
Georgia Culture, happy
This will
birthday
be
to your
my
little
second
granddaughter.
term. Yeah.
Flowers, fairies, and unicorns. It's a good mix.
Yes. And elections are about to come up because this seat is up in 2026.
The judge's seat is up in 2026.
Yes.
She has to be retained. Judges are appointed.
And the primary too.
And then are
so.
And then are voted to be retained or not after that. So if you tick
Could you
off,
mute us for 1 second?
if you tick, we're not muted. There we go. If you tick off the judge, or if the judge ticks off a lot of people, then she ends up not being voted back in. But usually judges are retained. We're interning on. Are you interning as well, Gail Pat? You and me both. She's talking to an intern who's sort of wandering around the courtroom asking questions. Probably somebody, I think she's a professor as well, right? Does she also teach? Maybe she just guest teaches. It depends what her trial is today, and I'm not sure which one it is. We'll see what the topic is. If it's family friendly, we might hang around. Meaning by family friendly, I mean just traditional murder and stuff like that. If it's something that's not as much fun to be here for, we're probably going to bail. Lindsay says, and I'll be voting for her again. Lindsay, you're going to have to vote for all of us that aren't there in Bexar County. So appreciate you doing that hard work. We like her. Please keep her around. Must be traditional murder. It's funny. Man, there was in the news just over the weekend, there's some crazy stories. There was one, there's a judge in the news accused of shooting and killing her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, just shooting him in the head while he slept. Apparently that's not legal. She should know that. But now she's in the clink, facing charges for that. So we'll see if that goes to trial. That might be a fun one. That could be years down the road. I just saw it the other day. Let's see. Actually, I think I saw it this morning. Judge Sonia McKnight, suspended judge accused of shooting ex-boyfriend in the head. That was on WGAL, had that one. And man, you know, sometimes there's little crimes. They're much smaller crimes, but they're a big deal to the victim. And sometimes I just want to watch them and make sure that the little guys get the justice they deserve, even though it's not a high profile crime. And, like many people were affected, or everyone heard about it when it happened, or the police chase that shut down downtown for a day or something. There's a case out of Texas. Video captures suspects stealing money from Girl Scouts in Fort Worth, Texas. Girl Scouts are out selling cookies outside Walmart, and dude with no life and no morals grabs their bag of cash and runs and gets away with his money. So hopefully they catch him. I'd love to follow that trial. Fort Worth, keep your eyes peeled for the cookie bandit. I don't know what you'd call him. He didn't steal any cookies, but he took all the cookie money. Lucy P. doing a maths mock exam for your level 2s. Good luck, Lucy. I could not help you, unfortunately, with the math. But if I could soothe you into being calm and being able to remember all the things you already know, then maybe I can do that. Court like these is where real justice is done. Bobby says she shot her ex-husband in 2019 and was cleared for self-defense. Whoa. This is her second? So we have like a pattern? Okay, hold tight. Well, they're still on break. Whoa, this changes everything, guys. This changes everything. Let me, let's see, we've got Judge Boyd there. Let me put Judge Boyd down here, if I can. Where's Judge Boyd? Let me move some people around. Got to get rid of the family forest. That was a beautiful chart, though, by the way. Thank you, Evie. Okay, Judge Boyd is going to be on 7 with audio follows video. We're good there. Now what are we on 2? We need Judge Simpson back up there. Okay, Judge Simpson's not up either. He's down right now. All right. Cookie money was $400. Oh, who stole all of the cookie dough? Weather Watch, I see what you did there. Okay, so let me look at this judge story. This is in Dauphin County judge accused of shooting ex-boyfriend in the head. Well, he slept. Well, he's sleeping. That makes it hard to plead self-defense. I mean, self-defense usually needs to be some level of threat present. She's been held on a $300,000 bail. She had gunshot residue on her hands an hour after he's found shot in his home. Oh, wait. The victim's now blind in his right eye. Okay, she didn't kill him. She's only being charged with facing charges of murder. How do you get a murder charge if the victim didn't die? The victim awoke to massive head pain and was blinded. And McKnight told him, "What did you do to yourself?" He had a gunshot wound to the right temple that exited his left temple, though he was adamant when speaking to police that he did not shoot himself. Oh my goodness. Doorbell footage is in the mix. The gun was registered to McKnight. No one else was home at the time of the shooting. So it's attempted murder charges. McKnight was already suspended from her role as a judge after a state judicial conduct board made numerous allegations of misconduct against her, saying she violated judicial probation from a previous misconduct case centered on her actions regarding the 2020 traffic stop involving her son. She was acquitted of criminal charges in that matter. Whoa. All right. Anyway, let's see. Maybe he's dead inside. Blinded by the lights. That's terrible. It's terrible. So it was attempted murder. Lynn, good morning. Welcome. Good to have you here. Krista says, my dad just bought Girl Scout cookies in last night. The new one is pretty good. Which one is the new? Is that the one with the caramel in the middle and chocolate on the outside? I have a package of those that I've not opened. They're in the cupboard. Evie, he survived, and he apparently he's got an entrance and an exit wound. Possibly, I imagine it's probably farther forward, because further back in the temple would definitely, the gray matter between the two would cause some problems. Wow, like, why are you slapping yourself? Seriously. She was charged of attempted murder and aggravated assault on Thursday. She has a history. Shot ex-husband in 2019. Tampered with evidence on son's case. Should have been removed a while ago. See, I'm still trying to find the information to back that up. I believe you. I just haven't found that myself. Is it caramel or caramel? Is there a difference? All right. We've got Judge Simpson's coming back.
All right. 14A District Court of County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. The Honorable Judge J. 17 to preside.
May be seated. Again, shall we? Court calls the case, People versus Gregory Lee.
Andrew, Assistant Public Defender, with and on behalf of Mr. Lee, who is present.
We did forget the waiver this morning.
Oh.
Ms. Barroso, or
The people waive any Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Barroso on behalf of the people waive any potential conflict between this honorable court and the public defender's office, though the people do not believe that such a conflict exists. The people make this waiver in avoidance of any doubt.
The defense also waives any such potential conflicts. We do not believe any exist.
all right, the court for its part also does not believe that there's conflict either under Michigan court rules or the cases decided thereunder. To the extent the conflict does exist, given the waivers, the court will consent to hear the matters. Court does call the case of People State of Michigan versus Gregory Lee.
Zachary Ward on behalf of the people.
Andrew Bannis, with and on behalf of Mr. Lee, who's present.
Gregory Lee, thank you. It's a waiver.
Your Honor, my understanding is that Mr. Lee is going to waive his right to a preliminary examination. The signed form is in your file, I believe. There is also a part of the waiver includes the prosecutor's consent to HIDA up in circuit court.
All right. That's correct, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Mr. Lee? Yes, Your Honor. All right. You understand that a preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offense alleged was committed and that you committed it. Yes, Your Honor. You understand you'll not have that hearing and you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution. Yes, Your Honor. You'll also waive the right. Preliminary examination having been waived, defendant is bound over to circuit court on the single count. Mr. Bannon.
Your Honor, we waive formal reading of the information. My client, the allegations.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute. Court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial will be set for
April 4th at 1:30.
April 4th, 2024, 1:30, Thursday.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bond will continue. You're welcome, sir.
Here's what I'm watching back behind the scenes here.
Call the Thorns matter.
Thorns matter should be quick too, Judge. Judge, I believe we have a resolution on merit. Which will be very quick.
Probably shouldn't have asked out loud. Let's bring Thorns out.
Keep an eye on a couple of courts. We've got Judge Wolf, obviously, dealing with some smaller docket issues. Judge Boyd's on break right now. Vicky, I'm struggling to get that working right. I wanted to use WhatsApp, and I'm not able to use WhatsApp the way I'd like to. It won't accept my burner phone as a number to link to, and I just don't know if I can manage having two phones that ring simultaneously. I need to have them all come in on the same number. Trophy wife, I realize some women have used self-defense with their ongoing abuse.
People versus Patrick Thorne Jr.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Moroso on behalf of the people.
If he's asleep.
Counsel Roder, Assistant Public Defender, on behalf of Mr. Thorns, who's present. Mr. Thorns, please state your name for the record.
Patrick Thorns. Thank you.
All right, what are we doing? Force. That's,
Your Honor, this is the date and time set for preliminary exam. At this time, we were planning on proceeding under 27C with our officer. She is a member of the YPD and is one of only 2 officers on call. At this time, she is responding to a felony and is not in attendance. We would be asking for a 1-week adjournment in this matter. I do note for the record that the defendant has a VOP up in circuit court for which his bond has been denied. The next court date for that is the 26th. He also has a $5,000 hold out of the MSP Metro Narcotics team, because at this point his bond has been denied up in circuit court until the 26th, which is
Monday.
On Monday. We would be requesting just until the 27th so that an officer can be present. I do note that before this case was reauthorized, she was present in attendance and prepared to proceed to exam very late in the afternoon on that date. I have been in communication with her this morning. She has said that she was planning on attending before she got called to the scene.
All right. Response.
Judge, we would move to dismiss. The complaining witness has never been present, and now the police officer witness is not present. I understand that there are extenuating circumstances and reasons for that, but today's the court date. If my client doesn't show up for a court date, there are consequences. I would move to dismiss with prejudice at this point. This has been refiled. It does continue to hold my client in custody because he's held on VOPs, but those violations of probation allege only this new offense. So if this offense is dismissed, the probation violations will also be dismissed. My client informs me that his hold in Romulus has been resolved. He's pled that matter out, and he expects to be put on misdemeanor probation and continue reporting here in Washtenaw County at Circuit Court probation.
Where'd the matter out of Romulus?
That MSP hold, I took a plea deal. It was supposed to be ran concurrent with my probation.
Just what I just said.
Well, is that plea part of his violation also, or no?
Not that I'm aware of. It certainly hasn't been alleged.
Judge.
When is the officer expected back? You know?
I am not sure, Your Honor. At this point, she told me that she was still on scene.
Okay. What kind of potential felony is it? I mean, is it going to be an all day? We don't know if it's going to be an all day thing.
I do not know, Your Honor.
Because even if I were to grant the adjournment to the day after he appears in circuit court, I'm not available that day because I've got a 3-person prelim going that day, right?
Correct.
Dismiss with prejudice or just dismiss? What's going to happen here, Judge? I think defense has a valid argument.
It's not going to be an all day.
That's my understanding. Can it not be on the 26th?
Can we do it on?
So on 26 or 5, we only have one.
All right.
It's going to move it to
what time is his proceeding on the 26th?
It is at 1:30.
I can do the morning of the 26th. That way, if it's not bound over, you'll know that when you go to the 1:30 hearing.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, you'll also know that when you go to the 1:30 hearing and can prepare for that. So I can do it Monday morning.
The people have no objection to that.
It's not.
That way, if he's resolved the Romulus thing, he'll have this resolved. And then that, because the reality is, even if I were to dismiss it, I wouldn't dismiss it with prejudice. So it would be hanging out there anyway. So
with that, the court's denying my motion to dismiss with prejudice.
I think that's clear. Yeah.
Very well. Then that was the motion that I made. I can make, certainly someone can appear. If not myself personally, we can be there on the 26th.
All right. So who's the probation case before?
Judge Slay.
Judge Slay. Okay. So I'm sure she'll work with us timing wise, but we'll set it. Preliminary examination in this matter. I will adjourn it. I will find it in circumstances good cause to do so. I will adjourn it to the February 26th, 2024, 9 a.m. Oh, that's before the meeting. In person.
Not saying nothing. Like, what the fuck?
He's giving me a date on the 26th.
It's ridiculous, man. That's crazy.
Continued. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The defendant's really frustrated with the situation. Was not dismissed. And he dropped a bomb in court, and the judge let it slide.
That was about you. No.
Court calls the case. People versus,
is it Jaden? Jaden. Marita.
We have reached a resolution, exactly one on behalf of the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. Good morning to your staff. May it please this most honorable court. Edward Martell, P85051, on behalf of Jaden Merida, who stands to my right. Sir, please once again state your full name for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jaden Merida.
Your Honor, the defendant would be pleading to count 2 in the complaint, as well as count 5, use of a controlled substance. As a result of his guilty plea, the people would move to dismiss counts 1, 3, and 4.
That is our understanding as well, Judge, and certainly my client has been advised of his trial rights, wishes to waive those today and take advantage of this generous offer.
The attorney is like all over the place. Is he nervous?
Yeah, have him sworn, please.
He's right here. Solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State your name.
Jaden Merida. All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding you're going to be pleading guilty to 2 charges. Is that your understanding?
Yes, Your Honor.
First will be the stated count 2 of attempted resisting and obstructing a police officer, the one that's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and a $1,000 fine plus court costs. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's also this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to the charge of use of a controlled substance. Is that cocaine?
It is. It's oxycodone. 2 oxycodone pills to be specific, Judge.
All right. Use of a controlled substance, that's a misdemeanor also punishable by up to 1 year, $1,000 fine plus court costs. I think it's $2,000, but you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you also understand, sir, that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge, and you would be sentenced before Judge Washington in the 14B District Court. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Still wish to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
To the charge of attempted resisting and obstructing a police officer, how do you plead?
Guilty.
To the charge of use of a controlled substance, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on probation or parole?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Were you on probation or parole at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You understand that this could be a violation, your plea in this case could be a violation of your probation.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that as such, that the other court could sentence you to the maximum allowable under your other charges? Yes, sir. In understanding that, you still wish to plead guilty to these charges? Yes, sir. All right. Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plea? No, sir. Anybody threaten you or coerce you? No. You're doing this voluntarily? Yes, sir. Of your own free will? Yes, sir. And because you believe that you're guilty of these offenses? Yes, sir. June 3rd, 2023, at the location of South Huron River Drive near Textile Road in Ypsilanti Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, did you come into contact with a sheriff's deputy? Yes, sir. All right. What happened?
Judge Mayor, briefly, voir dire my client.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, on date and time put forth by the court, you were in the county of Washington, yes?
Yes.
Okay, and at that point in time, you were driving a motor vehicle, yes?
Yes.
You were stopped or a stop was effectuated by the police, yes?
Yes.
At that point in time, you were in possession of 2 oxycodone pills, correct?
Yes.
And those pills were for your personal use?
Yes.
And you didn't have a prescription for such, did you?
No.
Okay. Judge, defense is satisfied as to the use count.
Well, what's the attempted resisting an obstruction?
May I continue, Judge?
Go ahead.
Please and thank you. Judge, or excuse me, Mr.
Please and
Merida.
thank you.
At that point in time, you've seen the officer approach the vehicle, yes?
Yes.
And that officer was in fully marked uniform, yes?
Yes.
That officer asked you to step out of the vehicle pursuant to him seeing the prescription pills, yes?
Yes.
And you refused to do so, yes?
Yes.
And you had no reason to not comply with that officer, did you?
No.
Judge, defense is satisfied as to the attempted R&O.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to counts 2 and 5. Counts 1, 3, and 4 are dismissed.
Thank you, Judge.
Pre-sentence investigation and report is ordered at 14B probation. Sentencing in this matter will be
That's smart of the lawyer.
March 21st,
to question his
2024.
his client like
What's
that.
9? 10 a.m.
Helps
before
prevent
Judge Washington.
Unfortunate
Thank you,
admissions
Judge.
in
Always
front
a
of the
pleasure.
judge.
Sir.
Bug Dugger,
continue.
thank you once again. You got Julie F. You're back in green. Okay, so we're talking about a judge. This is just fresh in the news, just brand new in the news, like yesterday or today. There's a judge that, let's see if I can find where it's at.
I'll take the ball for a lot. That one, we could have done it.
Judge in Pennsylvania shot her ex-boyfriend in the head while he slept.
But I didn't.
But that was last weekend.
That'd be a no.
So they just barely got charged.
I know this one.
Morgan's pretty cheerful today.
Where'd Mr. Gaddy go? Court does call the case of the people versus Robert Lewis.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Rose on behalf of people.
And good morning, Your
Cumberland
Honor, Assistant
County.
Public Defender Chinazi Kiriak, and really on behalf of Mr. Robert Lewis. Mr. Lewis, could you state your name for the record?
Robert Lewis. Thank you, sir. Hey, what are we doing?
Your Honor, today is a date and time set for preliminary examination in this matter. I have had an opportunity to speak with both my client and the assistant prosecuting attorney. We have come to a resolution. My client will be entering a no contest plea to count 2 of malicious destruction of a building with the dismissal of count 1, the attempt home invasion. There is also
Full Wreck-It
an
Ralph on a
agreement
building?
in regards to his 14A3 matter that is not before this court, but we just wanted to put that on the record as well.
Go ahead.
And in that particular matter, he will be pleading guilty to count 1, which is the domestic violence charge, with a dismissal of count 2 in that matter.
Is that a correct statement of the agreement?
I apologize, Your Honor, I didn't hear you.
Is that a correct statement of the agreement?
That is correct, and I don't know if the case number for that other case is placed on the record. It's 2340415, and I also want to note for the record that there is no restitution at issue in that other misdemeanor case.
In the other case?
Correct.
All right.
I am unsure if there is restitution at issue in this case, but I ask that that would be reserved for sentencing.
All right.
And Your Honor, also, I think I failed to add that in this matter, there is, I don't know if the court does that, an agreement to no further jail time.
I can't.
Okay.
I can't bind Judge Freshour to that.
I think he's got a bond. It's $100 bond in that case that they were waiting to see what happens in this particular case.
Your Honor, the offer included an agreement that we would not object to a request to no upfront jail. So we're not binding Judge Freshour. We just agree that we will not object to that request.
Better.
Okay, good luck if you were going to try to do that. But what were you saying about the $100 bond?
My understanding is that in that 14
in the other
misdemeanor,
14.
that is correct, Your Honor. He has a $100 bond, and they've been waiting for the outcome of this matter.
Okay, but there's no agreement with this plea as to that bond?
No, Judge, not at all.
May I have him sworn?
Solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give, truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes. State your name, please.
Robert Lewis. All right, sir, it is this court's understanding that you're going to be pleading no contest to the charge of malicious destruction of a building, $200 or more, but less than $1,000. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration, a $2,000 fine plus court costs. Fine could be increased at 3 times the value of the property destroyed. If that's greater than $2,000, that would become the maximum fine. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Still wish to plead no contest?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me explain 2 things about it just to make sure. First thing you need to understand about a no contest plea is it means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court would treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand also that while I'm taking your plea, I would not be your sentencing judge, and you would be sentenced before Judge Freshour in the 14A3 District Court.
Yes, sir.
Basis for the no contest plea?
Potential civil liability, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, to the charge of malicious destruction of a building, 200 to 1,000, how do you plead?
No contest.
You understand that by pleading no contest, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
Because of that, you're giving up certain rights. You're giving up your right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial or to have this court compel their attendance. You're giving up your right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You're also giving up your right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent, not have that silence used against you. And you're giving up your right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
No, sir.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead no contest?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No, sir.
You're doing this voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
The court has been provided Northfield Township Police Department report for their case number 24444. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
None, Your Honor.
None, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, well, is there a stipulation that the amount of damage is $200
Yes, Your Honor.
or greater than $200?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. With that stipulation, based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is satisfied, Judge.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of no contest to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Pre-sentence investigation and report is ordered at 1483 probation. Sentencing in this matter will be
February 29th at 9 a.m. before Judge Freshour.
February 29th, 2024, 9 a.m. before Judge Freshour. Bond will continue. Thank you, sir. Good luck.
And what the bond in this matter, Judge?
In this matter, it's $50,000.
We would be making a request, Your Honor, that the court consider reducing that bond it's something similar to that of the 14A3 matter, so that he would have the ability to at least post.
Does he have the ability to post a 14.3 matter?
Yes, Judge, he does.
Well,
and my understanding was that that $1,300 bond was a placeholder when they were going to receive credit while he is waiting on the resolution of this felony matter.
Any response from the people regarding motion for Ron?
Your Honor, I understand that we are no longer looking at a felony in this case. I would like to hear what probation has to say. I understand if the court is wanting to reduce it from 50,000, I just would request that it not be linked to a PR at this point.
I'll reduce the defendant's bond. I'll reduce it, but I'll reduce it to a 10,000, 10%. And it's very quickly that he'll be coming up before Judge Freshour in any event.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, take care.
We're keeping an eye on the sentencing. We want to follow what happens. I'm not sure if we'll have a live feed available, but it's supposed to happen here soon. It's a quiet day in Judge Cedric's court. Let's jump over to Judge Boyd really quickly. Let's see, she's on 7.
This Thursday. Yes.
So that's all I got.
Yes, because this is at 2 o'clock.
So this is a whole.
Yes.
Might as well. But that plea to a misdemeanor, have they got the forms in?
Let's go see what Boyd's doing. Looks quiet there as well. The only one that's busy is Judge Wolf, and he's about to bail because he's got a legislative hearing he's going to go to.
Alexander.
See what Judge Wolf is doing.
So I can hear these motions on March the 5th. Is that correct? That's all.
So, Judge, I have motions with Mr. Potter in front of Judge Lockhart Mash that day as well.
So is this your case?
Ms. Kelly, yes, is my case. Mr. Faulkner is also partly my case, and Mr. Castro is also my case.
It's a lot of cases. Judge is doing paperwork. Judge Cedric's just chilling.
Have a wonderful day, Your Honor.
I will. It's good. Actually. Your Honor. Yeah. Just 1 second.
Not sure what's happened there. Not letting him sit down. All right. You sent a white squirrel picture to the burner.
Court does call the case. People State of Michigan versus Eric Smith.
We're ready in this matter.
Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Morgan Burroughs on behalf of the people.
Mr. Brown, I think you need to put your appearance on the record.
Mark Brown, Deputy Chief Public Defender, appearing with and on behalf of Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith stated.
Eric Smith. Thank you, sir. All right. Date and time set for preliminary examination. Are people ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may call your first witness.
My first witness is going to be Officer, well, she was known as Officer Michaels. She has now gotten married and her name has changed to Officer Trinkley.
All right, very good. Congratulations. All right, come forward to be sworn.
Steve, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Have a seat. State your first and last name and spell it for the record.
Stephen Trinkley, S-T-I-E, Trinkley, T-I-N-K-L.
You may inquire.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. Okay. Can you tell me what you do for a living? Where do you work? Is that in our police department? Okay. And how long have you been employed there? I'd like to direct your attention to May 16th, 2023. Were you working that day?
I was.
And what shift were you working?
Night shift patrol.
Were you in a marked patrol car? And were you in uniform? During that shift, were you dispatched to a 1500 Pauline Boulevard, Apartment 5 in Ann Arbor in Washtenaw County?
Yes.
And
the area, I'm sorry, to the area of West Stadium, Pauline, actually.
You were dispatched to that area? Okay, not to that specific address. Thank you for clarifying. What was the nature of that dispatch?
It was a domestic violence call.
Okay.
It, applied asking for someone call.
Okay. And did you encounter an Elizabeth Dentman when you arrived?
Okay.
And you happen to know an Eric Smith. Is he in the courtroom? Can you briefly describe where he's sitting and something he's wearing?
He's sitting right to your right, the blue jacket.
Your Honor, please let the record reflect that the witness has made an in-court identification of the defendant.
Without objection, record shall so reflect.
What's the basis for the knowledge? How does she know? I'm going to object. There hasn't been a basis.
All right. Go ahead. Can you establish a basis by which you would know that's him?
How is it that you know an Eric Smith?
He was taken into custody by my partners that afternoon, and I saw him at the police station.
And how do you know that his name was Eric Smith?
That's who Elizabeth identified.
Okay. And so, Your Honor, at this point, please let the record reflect that the witness has made an in-court identification of the defendant.
Any objection? I think she's established that how she would know. You may. Pardon?
Outside of the Elizabeth, yes. No objection.
Record shall so reflect. Go ahead.
Thank you. Going back a moment, you said you encountered an Elizabeth Dentman when you arrived on the scene. Can you tell me, did you make any observations about her demeanor, about her person at that time?
Yeah, she's visibly shaking and crying, and she had recent bruises on her body.
Okay. Do you know, was there any relationship between the defendant and the victim, Ms. Dentman?
They were previously dating, and they broke up.
Okay. And how do you know that?
That's what she said.
Okay. So you spoke to Miss.
Just for the record, make the objection so that she can go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Make the objection to hearsay.
Yeah.
Why she's hearsay.
Yes.
So I object to hearsay.
Your Honor, I do believe that this is an exception to the rule against hearsay under 768.27C. At this point, if Your Honor would like to hold a ruling on that until after we have established the necessary requirements under the statute, we have no issue with that.
All right. I'll allow it in subject to the full establishment of that criteria. Go ahead.
Thank you. So you spoke to Ms. Dentmond. Can you did she happen to say what happened to her?
She said that she was staying at the sister of her ex-boyfriend at 1500 Hall Lane. That's where that address comes in.
Okay.
And that she had been involved in an all-day domestic incident with Eric. And she said that it started in the morning when she woke up to him being in that apartment and punching her. And then she went on to describe several incidents throughout the day.
Okay. Do you mind if we slow down and go through what she communicated about the events throughout the day? Okay, so you said she woke up and he was punching her. Did she happen to say how he was punching her or where she got hit?
She said 5 times with a closed fist before she was able to escape to the bathroom.
And did she say where on her body she got hit? Yes, I just asked that you don't read it into the record. So okay. Refresh, and are you refreshing from your own?
I am.
Okay.
She said that it was in her right arm.
Okay. And so she got to the bathroom, I believe is what you said?
Yes.
When you're done refreshing, will you close it?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So she got to the bathroom. Can you tell us what she said happened next?
She said that she had locked herself in the bathroom and then he broke the door in and threw an orange torch lighter at her.
Did she happen to say if the lighter
struck her?
Okay. Was this the end of the incidents between the defendant and Ms. Detmond?
So at that time, her statement was scattered.
Okay.
But she said that she then was able to get to the bedroom and the incident continued.
Okay. So what happened when she got to the bedroom? Are you refreshing your recollection? You don't have to apologize. I just need to note it for the record that you are refreshing your recollection. Okay. Okay.
She was able to escape to the bedroom. And at that point, he threw an ashtray, which struck her and that did not leave a mark.
Can you tell me, I apologize for interrupting. Can you tell me, did she happen to say where it struck her, the ashtray? If you need to refresh, that's okay. Please let the record reflect that she is refreshing her recollection. Thank you.
It struck her on the right side of the head, and he also kicked her, causing a bruise.
Okay.
In the leg.
Kicked her
in the leg.
In the leg. Okay. So at that point, was that the end of the domestic incidents for the day?
She stated that at that point there was a dog bone that had scissors that were stuck into it.
Okay.
He tried to use that to defend himself, but then he took the scissors and threw the scissors, which hit her hip, but did not leave a mark. And then that was what she provided happened for the day. And she stated that she tried to call 911, but he hit the phone out of her hand and she and then the incident calmed down after that. And then was started escalating again. She left to go to the store and she was able to get a passerby to call 911 since her phone was no longer with her, being that he prevented her from calling 911 and hit it out of her hand.
Okay. Did Miss Dentmond make any statements about how she was feeling?
She was afraid. She said that she was going to feel
okay. I didn't want to.
Keeping an eye on the courtroom there in St. George, Utah, with the Hildebrandt Ruby Frankie sentencing.
Please let the record reflect that I approached the witness with People's Proposed Exhibits 1, 2, and 3 when you've looked at them. If you saw photos of the injuries that you observed on Ms. Dentmond from May 16th, 2023 today, would you recognize them? Looking at People's Proposed Exhibit number 1, is that a fair and accurate representation of one of the injuries that you observed on Ms. Dentmond on May 16th, 2023? Can you tell me what it is that you're looking at?
There's a large bruise on her inner right thigh, which is from when she was kicked.
Your Honor, the people move to admit People's Proposed Exhibit number 1.
No objection for the limited purpose.
Exhibit 1 is admitted.
Looking at People's Proposed Exhibit number 2, is that a fair and accurate representation of an injury that you observed to Ms. Dentman on May 16th, 2023? Can you tell me what you're looking at?
It's a close-up image
of the same bruise. At this time, Your Honor, the people move to admit People's Proposed Exhibit number 1.
2.
Or 2, sorry. Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Exhibit 2 is admitted.
And finally, looking at People's Proposed Exhibit number 3, is that a fair and accurate representation of one of the injuries that you observed on Ms. Dentman from May 16th, 2023? Can you tell me what you're looking at there?
It's a bruise on her right arm, which she was awoken by.
Your Honor, at this time, people move to admit People's Proposed Exhibit number 3.
No objection.
Exhibit 3 is admitted.
Thank you. Give me 1 second, Your Honor.
Watching a couple news feeds right now. I think Law and Crime also has a live camera outside the courthouse. I'm not sure if we're going to get a feed inside the courtroom for the Hildebrandt Frankie sentencing.
Your Honor, at this time, I have no further questions for this witness.
Just by way of clarification, you said that the 1500 Pauline Boulevard address was the sister of her ex. So is it the sister of Mr. Smith? Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. And was there an indication during your conversation with Ms. Detman as to how long these events were going on?
She said that he had been abusive in the past, but today in the city of Ann Arbor, she said she was awoken in the morning.
Okay, and what time did she leave the apartment? Did she?
The problem was at 7 p.m.
Okay.
So over the course of the week.
Got it. Okay. All right, thank you. Cross-examination.
Good morning, officer. What's the new married name?
T-R-I-N.
So you got this call at around 7 p.m. or a little after?
After, at 7:50.
Okay. And when you arrived to the address, how many people were there?
It was just her because I did not go to the address. I went to the intersection of State.
Oh, to the intersection. Were you given any information as to how many people were there as these events were going on?
A passerby called and said that a female.
No. I mean, she's relating these events to you, right? And is she saying that it's just herself and Mr. Smith that are in the apartment or house or apartment doing this?
The sister was gone.
No one else was there? Okay. And it was the sister's house?
Correct.
Okay.
Stated that the sister was supportive of her in the breakup.
Okay. All right. Did she say how long she had been at that house?
She was not there for very long, within a few days.
Did she tell you what time she was awake?
What time she was awake?
Awakened, yes. Don't recall. You said about 8 hours. This was going on. Is that right?
Yes, she stated that it was the morning, so or noon.
And were you able to verify? Could she have been off? Could it have been afternoon?
She stated that it was the morning.
Okay. All right, but you don't know what time in the morning. And if it had been 11:59, you wouldn't know that. So your statement of 8 hours is just a guesstimate based on her saying in the morning?
Based on her saying all day and in the morning, correct?
Okay. All right.
Alita, I don't think there's going to be cameras in the courtroom. We're trying to see if we can get a feed, but I don't think they're going to have cameras. We're hearing sort of mixed messages there.
You said that she told you that he broke down the bathroom door at some point. Is that right?
Broke in, correct?
What did he threw something at her? What did he throw at her?
A lighter.
A lighter, like a cigarette lighter?
Lighter, no, like one of the longer ones with the, you might like light it well.
I like you when you click it. And okay. Did she show you that lighter?
My partner officers, when they took him into custody, took photos of it.
Okay. At one point, she said that she had wielded scissors to defend herself.
She said that there was like a dog bone that had scissors stuck into them.
Like a plastic dog bone? Or?
And then he took the scissors away. He took the scissors out of it.
Do you know how big? Were they little scissors, kindergarten scissors, shearing, kitchens? Did you get a chance to see the dog bone?
I did not see the dog bone. I saw this in a photo.
And she said the scissors were stuck in the dog bone. And that's what she wielded against him.
She just said that she used it to defend herself, and it was clearly.
Did she say at what point or what time of the day or night that she grabbed it?
It was just in the sequence of the events. Once she got to the bedroom.
Okay, so she was in the
bed.
Okay.
After the incident, bathroom.
Okay, so she was in the bedroom when she picked up the scissors with the dog bone. Okay. Thank you. I don't have any further questions.
Any redirect?
No, you're right.
All right, you may step down. Thank you. Any additional witnesses for the people?
No, Your Honor.
No witnesses, Your Honor.
All right. As to the admission of the testimony, any further objection?
I'll leave it in the court's discretion.
All right. The objection to hearsay, while it is hearsay under statute, I'm going to admit it. I'll take the testimony. All right. Go ahead.
Your Honor, at this time, the people would move for bind over on counts 1 and 2 and an added count 4 of interfering with electronic communications. Based off of the testimony that came out from Officer Franklin, that the victim had in her possession a phone and was attempting to call 911, and the defendant smacked it out of her hand.
What, felony charge? Pardon? That's felony charge?
That is a felony, yes.
I would object. Can't use this testimony for anything other than
Anything other than, I'm sorry, Mr. Brown, you
Domestic, that the whole purpose of 768.27C is for domestic. The idea is that those witnesses are intimidated or whatever, they cannot show up, and they don't want to show up or are too afraid to show up. And the police officer testimony is supposed to be taken in lieu of that person being here. However, it does not extend to other felony offenses.
Your Honor, I would have to disagree with that. According to People v. Only, that case was not limited to the explicit charge of domestic violence. It also included other offenses, including, I believe, explicitly interfering with telephonic communications. When that case was not just, so it was involved in a domestic violence incident. So that testimony was allowable for determining probable cause at an exam beyond specifically the explicit charge of domestic violence, but as so long as it was involved in a domestic incident, which is the nature of this case as well.
Were you aware of that case, Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your response to that? I may need to read that case. I know.
Judge is doing some homework here on the bench to see if it does apply in this case. We're keeping an eye on the proceedings, the sentencing out of Southern Utah. If there is a feed available, we'll cover that.
Well, we used it for that as well as a home invasion, wasn't it?
Correct.
And Michaela, I understand another streamer is going to cover that. I don't know if she's going to get courtroom video or not. If there is courtroom available, we'll cover that as well. I can't use another streamer's feed, though, because then you get their commentary on the feed, and that doesn't work. Judge is reading the whole case to see if it sets precedents for case law or if it doesn't really apply in this situation. We've got a couple other things happening right now. We've got Judge Boyd, who is going to be having a jury seated, I think, in about 40 minutes.
The court on reviewing that case, and I would note that, and this was the court's understanding, this is that it involves charges involving domestic violence cases or charges involving domestic violence cases. So the domestic violence were absent, I think he'd be right, Mr. Brown. But I think the people would be permitted under these circumstances to add that offense. Specifically, which offense were you looking to add?
Interfering with an electronic communications, Your Honor.
And that's what's the maximum penalty?
I believe it's a 2-year.
That's what my understanding is.
2 years, and or $1,000. Does Your Honor want the PAC code on that?
No, I'm good. Oh, yes, I'm probably going to need it. Go ahead.
750.540 subsection 5A.
5A. All right. Mr. Brown, response? Well, before you give a response, I just want to make sure. I guess I'm unclear. There are 2 counts of domestic violence.
Correct.
What are the people alleging are the 2 counts? I guess, what actions constitute 2 counts and why it's separated this way.
Yes, Your Honor. Our interpretation was that there was 2 distinct incidents. One that occurred when the defendant woke the victim up by punching her in the arm with a closed fist before she, in our understanding, escaped to the bathroom. And then that is a separate incident where once he broke in the door and threw the lighter at her, which did strike her, that is another incident. But then you also have the additional incident of when she escaped from the bathroom and went into the bedroom, and he, according to testimony, kicked her multiple times and threw and struck her with an ashtray. At this time, it has been described in testimony that this was a series of events that occurred over the entirety of the day. So based off of that testimony, we are under the impression that these are multiple distinct incidents.
But if I don't have the temporal or the time frame, why would I take any of this and make it 2 separate incidents?
Because they occurred in multiple spaces throughout time.
But he doesn't know when.
But how do I know that? Because as I understood the testimony, these events, the first one occurring in, the punch in the arm, she goes to the bathroom, breaks in the bathroom, comes out of the bathroom, she goes to the bedroom. There are other incidents that are all occurring in that moment. And then, as I understood the testimony, things calm down, and that at some point she leaves when things then begin to escalate. So what do I have, and maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed it, but what do I have that time-wise separates these events? Because I didn't hear that testimony.
I'm sorry, I'm not understanding your question.
Well, what time-wise separates those events that would have the court say that there are 2 domestic violence or more, as opposed to 1 continuous event that is occurring?
Your Honor, it's our perception of it, and the reason that it was charged as 2 counts was because it does seem, it was communicated that it occurred over a prolonged period, and that it was not just in one, it was in one unit, but it was not in one room. So it occurred in multiple spaces.
I get that part of it, but I have regrettably plenty of domestic violence cases where things may occur throughout an apartment or a home, and it's charged as 1 domestic violence offense because it's the continuation of that same offense, everything that's happening. Usually when I see where there are 2 charges, that can all happen in one day, but there is a temporal break that occurs, and then something else happens. Like
the judge needs the time frame for these incidents, or else he can't break them up.
And they may leave and then come back. They're still in the apartment, and then something else happens. I don't, and I'm not hearing that in this case. At least as I'm understanding the testimony. As I'm understanding the testimony, he comes into the bedroom, like I said, he strikes her, she flees to the bathroom, he goes in the bathroom, or he breaks into the bathroom, throws a lighter at her, she then exits the bathroom, and then at some point, other events occur. But as I'm hearing the testimony, it's regrettably again, it's all just happening. And then what even makes the court, I guess, believe that it's this one continuous thing is that there's this statement made that at some point things calmed down between the two of them, or there was no longer any violence occurring, and that she felt or thought that it was then escalating, and that's when she left, which made it sound like to me all of those events that were testified to occurred within this sort of window. Everything's fine, and then she leaves. That's the court's interpretation. So I don't know.
Well, at that point, obviously, it's in the court's discretion. We've presented our interpretation as to why it was charged as two separate counts of pleading third. If the court is inclined not to bind over on both counts, we would still be requesting bind over on one count of domestic violence third, as well as the additional count of interfering with electronic communications.
Sorry, Mr. Brown. If I may, Your Honor, I agree with the court's interpretation, obviously. We were specifically told from the stand that this was an ongoing event. It's permissible for the prosecution to parse up an ongoing event to make several different charges out of it. So I would agree with the court's interpretation that charging more than one domestic violence, given the facts and circumstances that we've been given, would be inappropriate.
Good morning, Kenny. Thanks for the kind words.
Court, after hearing the testimony in the case, the court would find the people have sustained their burden as to one count of domestic violence. And so the court will bind the defendant over on count one. Court will not bind the defendant over on count two of domestic violence. We'll bind the defendant over and we'll add count four, the charge of interfering with electronic device, the 2-year. And so defendant is bound over on counts 1 and 4 with 3 following. Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. We acknowledge receipt of the information, waive its reading on the record. My client will enter a plea not guilty.
Defendant having waived formal reading, pleading not guilty. Court will enter a not guilty plea as to those 3 counts, counts 1, 4, and 3. Pretrial in this matter will be set
April 1st at 1:30 before Judge Slay Monday.
April 1st, 2024, 1:30, Slay Monday.
Be in person.
Pardon?
In person.
I'm not sure what Judge Slay's practice is, but I do believe that would be in person. I mean, they'll prepare a separate writ, either video or otherwise, but fine, we'll continue in this case. Thank you.
Let's jump over to Judge Wolf here.
Required to prove to the legal standard that you had violated your probation. You understand you would have the right to have a lawyer and to have one appointed, as I've done with the public defender's office. You understand that if you went to trial, you would have the right, I'm sorry, if you went to a hearing rather, and I found you guilty, you could appeal whatever I did in your court, in your case, to the Court of Criminal Appeals, and the right to have a lawyer appointed to help you with that appeal.
Yes, sir.
You understand that by entering this plea of guilty, you're waiving your right to that hearing, to that appeal. All I'm going to do is to approve what your lawyer and the state have agreed upon.
Yes, sir.
But you understand that's going to mean that you are going to be revoked to serve your sentence, but it's going to then be furloughed, which means a furlough is nothing more than an order for one purpose, and that's to allow you to be released from jail to go into a treatment facility. And that upon successful completion of that, upon successful completion of your treatment, you would then be returned to probation, and you would be on active probation through the drug court. If you don't successfully complete your furlough, then you're simply going to jail or prison to serve out your sentence. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you understand everything I've explained to you?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to plead guilty and give up your right to a hearing in this court?
Yes, sir.
I know that Mr. Sensing, as a good lawyer that he is trying to avoid me reading this to you, but see, this order says in open court, it was explained to you that the defendant, to you as a defendant, the recovery court does not operate in the same manner as a traditional court of law. Recovery court is primarily a treatment protocol using the enforcement powers of the court as a means of ensuring adherence to a therapeutic course of addiction treatment. You must understand and agree that in order to be successful, the court must have flexibility to operate in ways not considered commensurate with the constitutional protections afforded the traditional criminal defendant. Recovery courts closely supervise, monitor, test, and treat substance abusers and are based on partnerships among the courts, law enforcement, corrections, and social welfare agencies. They offer a therapeutic setting involving a regimen of graduated sanctions and rewards, substance abuse treatments, close court monitoring and supervision of progress, education and vocation counseling as appropriate, and other requirements. The therapeutic effectiveness of these programs relies on the recovery court's ability to immediately reward or punish participants for their behavior. After this explanation and in agreement with the foregoing, you in open court must waive the following rights to enter the recovery court. The right to be sentenced to 30 days, within 30 days. 2, the right to immediate execution of sentence. The right to be represented by counsel in recovery court proceedings. The right to confront witnesses against you in recovery court proceedings. The right to have your medical history kept confidential from the recovery court team. The right to have written notice of...
We're going to turn off his sound there just for a minute. We're going to jump over to Judge Boyd. She might have something going on here we want to check in on.
All right, once you sign that, you're excused. Gabriella Rubenchuk. All right. Everyone, a jury is coming up here at 11, so move with the purpose.
Move with the purpose. Jury's coming up in about 24 minutes.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Michael Alvarez. All right, just have a seat.
Bottom 2.
I'm trying to find out what the jury case is going to be with Judge Boyd. I'm not sure right now. We're hoping to sort of get a little fill in, or if somebody has the docket and can tell us, that would be great.
Jordan Robbins.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I can't complain. It's another day.
Right. So my mom says we're vertical and ventilating, right?
Yes.
Oh, standing and breathing.
All right. So we're set. Let me see what this is set for.
It's a discovery. We were supposed to turn over medical records by today, Judge.
Yes.
And we received them. Marina and I discovered them in Marina's inbox late in the day on Friday when we were here for trial. They were put on our paralegal stuff this morning to be uploaded.
Okay.
So apparently the trial that Judge Boyd has going on
anything
is
other than those medical
manslaughter
records that are left?
Trial.
I don't believe so.
No.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back on March 11th, and that's just to make sure all the medical records are uploaded. Then you're all going to get your jury trial date.
Okay.
All right. So once you sign the reset form, you are excused.
And Judge, is that going to be our plea deadline date as well?
Yes.
Okay.
And of course, if you don't have the medical records, please come in sooner and let me know that
Yes,
something
ma'am.
happened with the upload. And is this something that she'll need a separate just for to get it, or?
I'm not entirely sure. We sent it to our paralegal to upload. If it's too voluminous, then we'll make a copy for her.
Or I can bring over
An external or something, yeah.
I think it'd probably be best to
Yeah.
bring that over.
Okay.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you are excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving check inside, Judge.
All right, just give me a moment. All right, Ruby, a check. All right, why were you late for court?
Honestly, I was not notified that I had court. The only way that I found out was.
I'm sorry, what? Everyone, please whisper.
The way that I found out that I had court was because I actually looked myself up on Central Records and I saw that today I had court. So I was unaware. Nobody told me I had court this morning.
All right, so usually those are in the system, but you're gonna get a court date today and it's gonna be written down, so you'll need to be here on time. Do you understand?
Yes, yeah.
Where are we with discovery?
My understanding is that Mr. Barron's talked to Jason, is that I'm not aware of any discovery issues.
All right, any discovery issues?
Not that I'm aware of, Judge, and Ms. Rubencheck had expressed an interest in hiring an attorney, so we said we'll give her time to investigate that.
All right, was an offer tendered?
Yeah, he's.
Okay.
I think he stepped out momentarily.
Oh, no, you're an officer of the court. I take you at your word. So an offer was tendered?
He was making me an offer as we speak.
But I think Jason had to step out. I can make an offer, Judge.
Okay, so if you'll make an offer, and then I'm going to set this for a plea deadline date of March 18th. And if you have an attorney that you're going to hire, that person will need to be here on March 18th. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And do not leave the courtroom before you receive your offer. And I'll give you your reset form.
I'm gonna put it in.
Awesome.
Bug Dugger is just continuously gifting memberships, just one sprinkled in. Thank you very much, Bug Dugger. I think that's like 5 today or something. I don't know. Not sure why the attorney took his jacket off, going with the suspender look, holding the jacket. Interesting choice. Well, appearing before the judge. I guess if she says he should be fully dressed for court, he can always just put it on again.
Do you have the client? Let me see.
B. Thimbles gives a membership as well. Thank you.
Alvarez. All right, so that's coming back on March 18th. If you can be here. They say that the lab tests are in.
Okay.
And so I recalled it for March 18th.
She said they were pretty. That was nice. That's it.
Caleb Crum. Where's the attorney for Caleb Crum?
How are you today, Judge?
Oh, I'm doing great. All right, so there's supposed to be an update on mental health.
So Judge, he's been waiting for the competency to be done, but hasn't got anything there. And I do have an update on the private one that you've granted funds for.
Yes.
I'm struggling to get that same expert paid on a different case that I had her appointed on, to the point where she is now saying that she is not inclined to take any further.
All right, so that's not out of this court where she's not being paid, is it?
No, Judge.
Okay.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, the judges in that court have been helpful. it's just been a process to get everything signed, and then I suspect she's going to be paid eventually, but I understand her frustrations. And so what I'm hoping is you'll give me a little bit of time to see if I can find a different expert. I do think the expert's still needed. Obviously, the court agreed in granting me $1,200 for it. And then if you'll allow me, I'll just run down to competency this morning and talk to Judge Carruthers staff to see what we're missing
I
there.
tell you what, if you will run down to Judge Carruthers Court right now and then come back up and see what date they give you, that will be appreciated.
Absolutely. I'll be right back. I'll let them know when I'm ready.
All right, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thanks, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I think it's.
Who's here on Greg Wright? The attorney for Greg Eldridge Wright? So as you can see, a lot of this, there are a lot of moving pieces. Okay, so this is what you're going to discover. Do you know, usually on this side, it's very civil. Usually on the civil side, it's not as civil because you're dealing with money. So that's what I've discovered. There are some nice attorneys on the civil side, so don't get me wrong. But for example, on this side, let's say somebody didn't file a certain motion on time. Usually people are like, okay, you can go ahead and file it. But usually on the civil side, it's no. So Renee Gardia. Yes. Okay, so where are we with that?
Judge, Renee, after that ED, she switched over to Center for Healthcare Services. They're monitoring her now. I talked to Michelle Star Salazar, the program director, last week, and they're still in the screening process.
Okay.
Renee has an appointment on the 22nd with Center again, and so hopefully.
Okay, that's the 27th of February?
22nd.
22nd of February.
I think 2 or 3 weeks, we may know whether she's going to be in or not.
All right, so what I'll do is I'll recall this for March 18th. That should give everybody enough time. And once you sign the reset form, you are excused.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jason.
Yes. Good files.
While we're waiting, while nothing's happening in court here, let me tell you a little bit about what is coming up. Let's see. Today is February 20th. On February 22nd, we have a couple things. We have the Bridget Williams case, which is the cop car theft. That's with Cedric Simpson. Obviously, at the same time, that we believe that should be the start of the Hannah Reed case. That is the Rust trial out of Arizona with the Alec Baldwin. And everything else. On February 26th, you got Robert Cremo III. That's the July 4th parade shooting. That's happening in Illinois. On March 4th, Fernandez and Gardner, Microsoft exec murder death penalty case. It might be our first death penalty case, I think. That's down in Florida. That's on a status hearing. Then we've got March 11th, Franklin Tucker, the Treehouse murder trial down in Key West. That is the retrial. The original one ended in mistrial. New judge on that one as well. The first one disqualified himself. Also, the defendant may still go pro se again. We'll see. March 13th, John Torres in Cedric Simpson's court. That one's supposed to be spicy. That's at 3 o'clock, so that's a quick one. March 18th, Robert Tellis, accused of killing an investigative journalist. That's in Clark County, Nevada. He's also pro se. At least I think last I heard he was still pro se. April, we've got Shannon Gardner and Fernandez Saldana. That's the actual trial that we have a hearing for in March. So that's probably going to be about April 4th. That's death penalty joint defendants. They were extradited from Washington. In June, we've got a Miles Bryant. I think it's Bryant. I think the B wasn't working there. That's a former cop accused of murder of a 16-year-old girl. That's in Georgia. Also in June, we've got Ryan Schick in Wisconsin. Might have some people, some chat members who want to go to that one. Then we also have Corey Richens, which may happen at some point. Brooks Hoke. Nicholas Rossi, we're watching him. He's a Utah case, the guy with a fake accent, extradited from Scotland. Got a few things on the agenda coming up. What happened with Microsoft? They are. I don't like that name, but because it's the least likely that Microsoft will probably never be mentioned in the trial, the entire trial. It's just the guy who was murdered. I think at one point worked for Microsoft as a boss of some sort. But that is the death penalty case. We've got a hearing on March 4th, and then April it's supposed to go to trial, and it's a joint dual defendants in murder trial. Let's see. Yeah, the Microsoft exec killed by ex-wife and her current husband, or at least allegedly they were involved in that somehow. Don't have a trial date for Nicholas Rossi. If anybody has one, that's out of Utah. He's the guy that claims that he's not Nicholas Rossi. We're not going to watch that case. Obviously, I think it's a rape case. I believe, but he's interesting because he developed an accent and pretends to be somebody he's not, and says he's not Nicholas. So that's interesting. Sarah Boone, yes, where Sarah Boone was in May. Where did I deleted her on accident? I typed over. Let's see, she was originally on the 29th. Now we're going to move her down to, I think she's on May 13th, right? I think she's May 13th. Can somebody correct me here? The actual trial date. So she's there. Let's see. We've got also early March, we've got Crumbly coming up again. We've got Franklin Tucker happening in March as well. March is just going to be busy, the first couple of weeks of March. So James Crumbly is going to be, I think, March 5th, 4th or 5th, something like that. What did I miss? Did I miss anything? Isn't Chad Daybell in May? Daybell, for some reason, I don't have him on here. Let me do a quick check on Daybell. He's April 1st. Oh, wow. April Fools. April 1st. So let me put him on there. Idaho. All right. Anything else I'm missing on my report, or that you have questions about? The Lori trial in Arizona. Which Lori trial? Heather. Let's see. You're talking about Corey Richens. That's coming up. That's going to be a good one. That's going to be amazing. I don't think we have a date for that one. Let me check and see if anything's been posted. I think they had another hearing. Let's see. Or one's coming up. Let's see. Let's see. Preliminary hearing date has not been set for Corey. The trial isn't supposed to start until after the spring. So we're looking, I'd say, May, June, July period. I don't see anything newer than that. So still no firm dates on that. Lori Daybell. Oh, sorry, Lori in Arizona. Yes. Lori Daybell. Let's see if we can get her. She's. Let's see. Hang on. Let's see. No. Lori Daybell, Arizona. Okay, it looks like a week ago they said there was a date set. Let me just see what that is. August 1st. So she's August 1st in Arizona if that doesn't get pushed for some reason. I think it should hold. Okay. Anything else that I need on my chart here before we go back to court hopping for a bit? I am in the Eastern time zone. Yes, I am. I'm in North Carolina. Keith, I can share my court schedule with you, but it's really just a spreadsheet that's not very pretty at all. And I just dump information here and update it as I can. They're the ones I'm interested in, but the problem is the court dates, they change so quickly. Corey Richens, yes, it's going to be televised. It will be streamed. Mike, I'm already in the media pool for that one, so I'm planning on being there for that. So if it's going to happen, I need to as soon as I find out when it happens, I need to buy some airline tickets. I'm keeping an eye on the Frankie Hildebrandt stuff. I know Law and Crime's doing a feed from the courthouse steps. A couple of their news stations have been keeping track of this outside. I'm not sure if there's going to be a feed inside the courtroom or not. We're waiting. Put it on the calendar. Put what? Oh. The problem is I need it all on one screen. I don't want to be able to scroll. I have to be able to update things regularly because court changes. Things push all the time. Rebecca Auburn. What's Rebecca Auburn about? Let's do a quick check. Columbus serial killer. Killed 4 men with fatal fentanyl doses in order to rob them. All right, that was a fun one. Oh, yeah. Where's her court date? No date set for her trial yet on that one. I'll put her on the list with no date. was out of, let's see, where was that? Ohio. All right. Let's see what else we have. Karen Reed. I still don't think Karen Reed's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I have shared my calendar with my mods, and I could share it to make it viewable, but I don't want to have everyone have access to it, because if somebody goes in and accidentally deletes something, I'd be lost forever. Brooks Hoke, that's the Bardstown Deadly Decade. Crystal Rogers on Kentucky. He's being held on $10 million bond. February 8th is his pretrial conference. I didn't hear how that went. I don't know. Do we have a date for that one? Did they give us a date yet? February 10th. Trial date was set for February 10th, 2025. So he's a year out. So I can put that on there, but he's at the bottom of the list right now. Right there with Brian Koberger. Yeah, if I share my Google Doc with y'all, let's see, which account am I sharing this with? Okay. If I share and make you, let's see, viewers only. If, let's see, a commenter, let's do comments that way, because if you have a comment, you can make a correction or update, you can let me know that way. So I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not, but I'll share the link with my little Excel spreadsheet. It's not pretty, guys. It's not pretty, but there it is. It's flying in chat. There's the spreadsheet, so all of y'all can take a little gander at it. It's got some old stuff on here I need to delete. And just like that, a bunch of people are jumping in. So let's see. I need to get rid of the stuff that's passed. Let's delete these rows. Oh, hang on. I need Crumbly. Gonna move him down. There's only like a couple dozen of you guys in here. It's watching me make typos. Suddenly the pressure is on. Okay, so Crumbly is going to be March. I think it's March 5th, right? Does anybody know if that's correct or not? Oops. Ruby Frankie live would love to watch here. If we can get a feed, we will try. We'll try. Just have to make sure we got a good feed. Judge Simpson is not a happy camper right now. He's on break right now. I'll keep an eye on it for when he pops back up. At Ashley Benefield, Black Swan trial set for end of July. My B button doesn't work. That's why I can't type anything with the letter B on it. Come on. There we go. All right. Good morning, Kurt. Good to have you here. We're just working on documents right now. No cameras for Ruby's sentencing. That's what I'm hearing. Everyone's talking about it. They're setting up cameras outside. If there's anyone here that's like an Excel expert that wants to do research, and honestly, if you want to do research on any of this, especially there's fields that I'm very, very interested in, are these fields off to the right. Let me see if I can share my screen really quickly. Let's bring that on camera 3. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be incredibly difficult to see unless you've got a big screen. But for those of you that are watching this, are logged into the shared drive, just the cases we're looking at. Oops, right here. Why does that not work? Because I messed it up. Okay, so we've got trial dates, defendants' names, the headline, a case number if we have it, the city, county, state, court, judge, defense if they're pro se or not, or public, any notes. But this stuff over here on the right is really useful. If there's links, say like to the court search where I can pull up the records and the docket and things like that, links to the decorum or expanded media coverage orders, media access statutes. If you can find these, because every court has different rules. So we're all checking. I have to check all those and I have to comply every time. And then sometimes when we request access, media access, we have to have the state attorney email, name and email, and defense attorney name and email on our access request. So if you want to do some research on this, I would love it. I'd love it if you could fill in some of the blanks for some of these cases, especially if there's ones you're interested in us covering directly. That would be fantastic. Boyd trial is coming up soon. Let's see. Camera 3. I think she's in break right before. Let's see. Where'd she go? Nope, she's not in break. Okay, so her jury is going to be seated in just moments. Let's see what's going on right now.
Court's file, that's when I see it. So whenever you send a letter directly from the jail to the court, it doesn't automatically come to me.
Okay.
All right.
And then also I sent a letter to SAPD about the situation.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to reset this, and we're going to reset this for March 18th.
I was gonna ask for 2 weeks just so the state could potentially talk to their witnesses and maybe we can get a resolution on this matter on the ag assault, if that's okay with the court.
All right. I'll set it for March 18th. Then if you want it sooner than that, you can always have him brought over sooner. And the reason why I'm saying March 18th is because you're in trial this week.
And just so the court's aware, I am starting a juvenile trial in Kendall County on that day, on the 18th.
Ah, well, we can put it for March 11th. Are you okay with March 11th?
That should be fine, Judge.
I start another continuous sex abuse of a child.
All right, we'll put it for March 4th.
That's perfect.
All right, we'll bring you back on March 4th.
I'm just trying to get it resolved, miss.
Well, here's the thing. Let me ask you this. Do you want your attorney to try to resolve an issue and they have not seen a case because it's just been indicted, what that means is if the state wanted to be unkind, they could probably say, oh, this is a 20-year case. Your attorney doesn't know if that's the case or not because they haven't received or seen the information. So your attorney is trying to get the information for you so that he can represent you competently. You don't want anyone to give you a decision on something when they haven't seen everything, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's what we're trying to do. And we're trying to do it as quickly as possible. He's trying to do it as quickly as possible. So we're saying March 4th.
Thank you, sir.
All right. You're welcome.
March 4th. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, have a seat, sir.
You see how quick the lawyer just put his hand on the client's arm, like, shut up, don't talk to the judge, you're going to ruin everything. Too late. He'd already opened his mouth.
All right. Can I see the file? I think I already have the file on Greg Wright. Where is the attorney, Adam Pultz? And I think he's having a competency evaluation that's done. So Deputy Laura, on that case, can you let Mr. Wright know that we're going to recall him for March 18th?
Blackbird Squeaks, I've had some incredible donations. I have another keyboard. It's just this laptop. I can't. I don't want to get rid of the laptop. It does so much.
So the report is
work
done
for me, and it fits on my desk right where I need it. It's just.
No, it's completed because I've seen the report in the email. So I don't know why they don't have it up. Just one second.
Yes, ma'am.
We waiting for the jury to be called? Let's see. Check some of the local stations down there watching the court case. Bug Dugger. I'm not sure what you're doing, but your bot that keeps buying memberships every 5 minutes is working now. It's working. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. Got a couple reporters I've been able to identify that are down there.
Let me get the evaluation. Can you place this on mute just for a moment, please?
Patricia, thank you very much for the kind words. Thank you. We like Ivan and Ricky. They're good guys. Let's see. Richard Walter Bradley, the Gold Digger trial is due on. Did I just delete that one off the spreadsheet? I thought I just deleted it. Mr. Ricky Watson, the Big 11, gosh dog. 11 months. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ricky. Appreciate it. Are they doing audio only from the courtroom?
Kathy, on Patillo, I know what has happened now. Because
Well,
that-
I'm glad somebody.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to recall your client Patillo for tomorrow. And between now and then, I will make sure that you get the report.
Okay.
So Deputy Laura, if you can have Mr. Patillo on recall for tomorrow.
Yes.
Mr. Patillo, we're going to bring you back tomorrow, okay? And I'll have that report for your attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And then if I could see the parties on Heflin.
Does somebody have a link to the audio only from court? Like a direct link?
Oh, thank you. You two have a great day. And have some patience. Put some patience in your pocket, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, court is calling 2023 CR 10633, State of Texas versus Devin Heflin. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Alex Jackson.
Defense?
Or Alexander from Meredith Chacon for Mr. Heflin.
And are you Mr. Heflin?
Yes, ma'am.
Any objection to this attorney standing in for Ms. Chacon?
Who are you?
All right, so what is happening, Mr. Heflin, is this is an attorney that works in the same firm as your attorney, Ms. Chacon.
Yes, ma'am.
My understanding is that a plea bargain agreement has been worked out between Ms. Chacon and the state. All right, so Ms. Chacon probably had to go to another court. So this attorney is standing in for her. My understanding is that this attorney is not here to change your plea bargain agreement. He's just here as an attorney standing in for Ms. Chacon so that the plea can be completed. If you would like, we could wait for Ms. Chacon to come back, or either you can go forward with this attorney. Which do you prefer?
You said you work with her? We're in business together. So you know on her case, though? Yes.
This guy's like, I'm not sure.
All right, do you want to speak with him?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you all will step back and talk to each other.
He's here, Your Honor. I'm good as there.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
all right,
I had to take on Maddie's.
no problem.
Now he's
And
ready to
For the
go.
record, for defense?
Meredith Chacon for the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is there an application in this case?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Heflin, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am. I did understand it.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Heflin, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 7 years in the prison and there are no applications. And I see outside the agreement, there's a request for an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand if I find that there's family violence and that this is a case of family violence, and I enter an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition? Did you understand?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And did you understand you would not be allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And also, if I find that there is a deadly weapon involved, there will be an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the agreement, the state is requesting no contact with Ayden, Kaydin Butler and James Butler, affirmative finding of deadly weapon, and affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Standard proceedings for that one with all attachments.
And Your Honor, we have no objection. I have gone over the attachments with my client.
All right, I'm showing you the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Also, I forgot to ask, are y'all proceeding on both counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
And are you pleading no contest to count 1 and count 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are these counts to run concurrent?
Yes.
The court, no problem. The court will review states exhibits 1 and attachments for sufficiency.
Okay, Adam, thank you. Let me get this one fixed. It's going to be May 20th.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. My client was on a parole that had been transferred here to Bexar County and would like you to give him credit for that time to run concurrent as well. The state had no objection, is my understanding.
No, Your Honor.
All right, and which, do you have a cause number or anything?
You might.
And the court will find you guilty of count 1, guilty of count 2.
And for the record, Your Honor, the victims are also aware of this, Your Honor, and in agreement with this. And I do have the case number whenever the court is ready.
Okay. Count 1 and count 2 will run concurrent. And then what is the cause number for parole?
19 CRS 238347. It's out of North Carolina.
Ooh.
All right, and the court will give you credit for any time served in that cause number and credit for any time served, of course, in this case. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon, affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Kaydin Butler and James Butler. And I'll sentence you to 7 years in the prison.
Boom.
Is there anything else with regards to sentencing from either side?
Not in the state, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
because this is a plea, because I followed your plea, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed, and also a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
20. I just turned 21 2 days ago.
All right, so I don't know what was going on with you at the household or what's going on with you in your life. If there's a mental health issue or anger issues, that's something that you're going to have to work on. Otherwise, you may find yourself living in a prison. You understand? And when you get to the point in Texas where they stamp you as a habitual, that means in some cases your minimum sentence is 25 years. You understand? All right, do better, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Appreciate it.
All right, who's here on Jack Bernal?
He's going away for 7 years. Wow.
Court is calling 2023 CR 9749, State of Texas versus Jack Bernal. Counsel, you're on this side. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense.
Paul Acevedo for the defense.
And are you Mr. Bernal?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review that with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Is there an application? Yes, there is. I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Just one moment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We're going to waive count 1, Your Honor, proceed on count 2.
We have no objection.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand in that count you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, 4 grams to 400 grams? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, thank you. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I feel he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I feel he is, Your Honor. Now.
Mr. Bernal, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone
Hey, guys.
promised you anything other than the
I'm going to turn
plea?
this down.
No, Your Honor.
We're going to turn the judge down just for a minute. Okay, I've got some stuff going on in the background here that's distracting me. I'm not getting clean feed. I realize LNC has a feed. It's not clean. I cannot use that one. And I can't do the Ruby sentencing. If you want to go there, that's cool. We can take a lunch and come back afterwards. I know I would recommend personally that you watch with Emily D. Baker, who is a live stream coming up here in about half an hour. I think the court ordered this to be on delay. That's why the people who are the few individuals who are live streaming are doing that in violation of the court order. That is not good for the world of true crime. If you like to watch it, I'll put that out there right now. People that are that do that, they get cited for reasons why we don't get access in the future. So that's cool. So I think we're gonna wrap and let people go watch that either with Emily D. Baker or the feed of their choosing, and then we're gonna pick up and maybe try to catch Judge Boyd's trial this afternoon. There are no news stations broadcasting live. I think the Oh, sorry, that's the police chase. Yeah. Michaela, that doesn't help me at all unless I need to know where the feed is coming from. Are you on Facebook, Twitter, or X, YouTube? What channel has it? Everything else. LNC does have a live feed of the stuff later. Yes, and no spoilers in here for those that are waiting, please. That being said, my wife needs me. We've got some stuff we've got to do, so I've got to take a break here this morning. I was hoping to have the feed this morning, but it's not. I can't find a pool camera feed. I can find one that's covered with all sorts of other stuff, but Emily D. Baker is probably your best bet there. I'd recommend that one for sure. All right. State's arrested in Adam Montgomery trial. That's good news. Maybe that one will finally come to an end. That's been a terrible one for those that have been watching. We are going to be coming back later after lunch. Give me about an hour and a half lunchtime. Does that mean, let's be 2 o'clock? Is that okay? 2 o'clock Eastern time? Red Pen, I've got the squirrel on my phone, but not on... Let's see. I've got it on my phone, but I can't transfer it right now. Thanks for the pics, though, of the white squirrel. I appreciate that. I'll see if we can get them up later. All right, that's all. I'm gonna let you guys all run to the outlet of your choice to watch that. I apologize. We thought we were going to be able to get a good feed. Right now, it's not working out the way we'd hoped. So everything is okay. I've just got to sort some stuff out. And honestly, my head's aching. It's pounding. I took something for it this morning, thought it'd be fine, but my earphones are just like, it's like piercing noise, even with the volume turned down. It's crazy. So I'm going to take something else. We'll be back after lunch. I think a little food, some more water. I'll be in better shape. So, all right. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again this afternoon in about an hour and a half. An hour and a half, I think. All right, we are coming back. Yes, we'll come back. No, we're not going to take the day off. There's too much fun stuff going on. Too much fun stuff. All right, thank you all. Be good to each other wherever you land, wherever it is. Try to make that place a little bit better. So the first thing you can do is click on the like button. That always cleans it up and makes it a little shinier. So whether that's Emily D. Baker or even one of the big channels, click the like and just be friendly and chat. I appreciate you guys doing what you do. Making the world of true crime a better place for everybody. Thank you. We'll see you after lunch. Bye.